He's on the microphone. When he's not on the microphone, he's playing a song. And when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you? Christopher Lott, how are you this morning?
I'm walking over there before I get my coffee.
You good, Chris?
They're good.
Oh, pretty good?
They're pretty good.
Could be better?
Could always be better.
Okay.
I could be on a beach with overcast clouds. 61 degrees.
Is there a universe where we could be on the same beach? You're
Probably like San Diego in the morning going into... See, like, I think it'd be like one of those things of the cartoons of the dog and the coyote, like, leaving at the same time. Like, okay, I'm done with this beach now. You can have it, Jason.
now it's yours. It's getting a little too hot. Yeah, or like a cartoon where it's like raining over one person. So like if you could have you and Dave get the overcast skies.
But I don't like rain.
No, we
Okay,
did the
I
rain
got
part.
you.
We removed the rain. So overcast skies, and I'm over in the sun. But again, when you guys, we both always go to the extremes. Like when it's 113 days, like, oh, you love this. I go, okay, it's 113. Like it's not. I don't love that, but if I have the option, I would prefer it to be warm over cold. But yeah, I could be in 85 and sun. That'd be great. You're in 60 and overcast, or in the same beach somehow, some way. I don't know if we can get that temperature difference, but sometimes being in the shade makes a big difference. So that would make it perfect for you. Drink in hand, not coffee. Something with bourbon, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I hit the sweet spot?
Hey, you got it.
Maybe a small muffalata on the side.
I don't think I could handle bourbon and move up. That seems too much. Yeah.
Do you eat much? I mean, a lot of people eat a ton when they drink. Do you eat a lot when you drink, or you just drink? Like
it depends.
Yeah, it just depends on the mood and what and where you are.
I guess like if it's like a bourbon, like if it's a spirit, I don't like to eat during that.
And you would prefer too if it's just a bourbon and just bourbon. Yes. Bourbon and ice, maybe your bourbon. Yeah.
Just straight.
Neat. Hey.
Neat.
Fun. We have a big show coming your way today. We take you till 10 as we do each and every Friday. Friday means we close out the show with Friday Fun and Games. Odd request earlier in the week. I mean, I've been back only a few days, but Nate's like, can I be in Friday Fun and Games?
Nate loves Friday Fun and Games.
Like, Nate, of course. If you're here, I mean, Nate's here, right?
Should be.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
We don't know with Nate sometimes. I said, yeah, you could be in it.
This would also be Nate would be like,
he's off
today.
Can
I be in Friday Fun and Games? No, it'd be, can I be in Friday Fun and Games? Yeah. Are you working that day? Yeah, I'll be there. And then it's me texting him at 9:30. Hey, where are you at? Oh, am I supposed to work today?
Yeah, remember Friday Fun and Games? Yeah. Well, allegedly he will be here, and allegedly he wants in, and we'll have him involved in Friday Fun and Games.
It's interesting that I think he wants to make up for last week.
Well, as you described it, did you say he choked?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, man, once you hear the ticking, it's completely different.
It changes everything. Yeah, it is. It is one of those things. I think we've all done that where you do Jeopardy all the time. I play game shows at home or whatever. I say, I'm like, come on. But like, then if you're on the spot, it's like, ooh, I don't know why it changes. I don't know if something must happen to our brains when either a time is presented or there's only one answer left or some sort of thing. And it's like, and when you're not kind of on the spot or you're driving around in your cars, if you are watching on YouTube and you're playing, you're like, that's easy. How come these guys don't know?
It would be like, how many Jurassic Park movies are there? 6, obviously. But it's like, in 5 seconds, can you tell us how many Jurassic Park movies are?
I know the first one. Two, at least. Dang it.
10.
Yeah. I panicked. Yeah. Or when, like, for whatever reason, this happens to us all too, like, just, you just can't pull it. Like, I know the answer. You start to doubt yourself, whatever it may be. So that's coming up.
Name it Janet Jackson's song. Opposites attract.
Yeah, see, duh, easy. What? What do you mean? Remember with the cat, MC Scat Cat? Yeah. Oh, Paula, what was I thinking? Who would ever make that mistake? Idiot, never saw it coming.
Look, I found the place your life is going, in the garbage.
So we welcome everybody that's here with us today. Coming up on the show today, we got to check in on those San Francisco 49ers, what's going on with them. And to help us with that, 8 o'clock, Matt Barrows will join us. We hope to have Matt back for the full season, as we have for many, many years here on the morning show. But he's going to be kind enough to join us at 8 o'clock. Also, it's the start of the Olympics. Well, they've kind of started, but opening ceremony is always a nice festive atmosphere.
I've seen like 5 soccer games already.
Yes, and when I first came in here today, rugby was on. In there,
This is the most rugby I've seen in my life.
Do you fully understand it?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm going to put rugby back on just to see what was going on over
They're
there.
already in the quarterfinals.
Okay, now that I don't get. Yeah, it's what is it?
Wait, what?
No, it reads
Men's rugby pool play quarterfinals. So is it the quarterfinals of the?
Well, pool play, and then once you get out of pool play, maybe it takes some time here. But yeah, that's bizarre. Well, a little bit like soccer. Generally, you can't go back to back and play back to back. You need a couple days off. So probably just schedule wise. But you're right. Rugby's been underway. Yesterday, I was in there with you and Simone, and team handball was on.
Yeah.
So the Olympics have started. I know it technically kicks off today with the opening ceremonies, and to help us talk about that, Michelle Daps from KCRA right here in town. But also, we got a lot of local people we need to be following, so she'll help us update that. That is coming up at 8:30. We'll have Niners at 9, all our usual, Safer Out, 3 for Madness. We will have celebrity birthdays a little bit later. So all that coming your way before we call it a day and get ready for the weekend. You have any weekend plans as of now, Christopher Laud?
No.
Looks like you have a deep thought, though.
I'm trying to think, because it's always like, oh crap, did I say that I was going to do something?
Yeah, and who's listening? Do they know? What do they have a fake plan for?
Maybe I'll go see Twisters.
Oh, really? Is this week 2?
I think
week
it's
3.
No, I think it's week 1.
Okay.
I guess week 2. Yeah, week 2.
We haven't quite returned to. I know people have returned to the movies. I'm not saying that's not, but like this is basically, the summer movies blockbuster. Like, was there a summer movie blockbuster this year? Isn't today not Iron Man, Wolverine and Deadpool?
Yeah.
That's, I don't know if that's supposed
maybe
to be.
I'll see that.
But like last year, was it? Yeah, it was Barbenheimer, whatever it was they were calling it.
Barbenheimer.
Everybody's like, Barbie and Oppenheimer. This is the movies you got to see. So
that was only that seems like it was like 5 years ago.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you saw both.
I did. Same day.
Oh, you did see, and together?
Yeah.
In that order, Barbie and Oppenheimer?
Yes.
I know you're going to get the answer, but I saw one of 2. What do you think I saw?
Oppenheimer. Oh, no, you saw Barbie?
Yes. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. Hi, Barbie.
Will Ferrell, fantastic in that movie.
Yes. Actually, Ryan Gosling was really good.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good.
There was a moment where I was in the theater crying, laughing.
I remember thinking, I didn't see it in the theater. I thought it was goodish. Like, it was fine. I'm trying to think of the part you would have been dying laughing, though. I thought there were some funny parts. Do you recollect what that would have been?
When I was crying, laughing?
Yeah.
It was when all the guys are on the beach and they were all singing the same song.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a Matchbox 20 song. I can't think of it.
Yeah, I don't have it either, but okay. But that used to be like the thing, like, oh, can't wait for this movie to come out. The summer smash hit. Everybody's going to see it. Either we haven't quite made the same kind of movies, or just, I know since COVID, more specifically.
Oh, it was. I think it was Push by Matchbox 20.
Push.
I wanna push you around. When I will.
When I will.
Cry, tears coming down my face, laughing.
I will say this. I've officially been to, I think, just 2 movies with you.
Yes.
But the movie experience with you is worth it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'll say this. When I go and see horror movies, I am not a person you want to be with.
That I believe, and I'm not a fan of horror movies, but I probably would want to go with you. Just, I don't know why. But
no, I get like scared very
You
easily.
get scared?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what's going on here?
What do you mean?
I do get scared, and that's why I don't want to go to those.
I go to the horror movies to get
scared.
That's the point of them.
Okay.
That would be like, you go to comedies to laugh?
Yeah, I guess I know what you mean. But can we say what you're doing for your birthday?
Sure.
So I love this idea, and it sounds like it's filling up quickly. But I don't even know what's the term. Are you renting out the theater, or do you have the ability to fill a theater?
I'm renting out. It's a small theater in Midtown, 23 seats.
Okay.
I've done this before.
Okay.
With the movie Blood In, Blood Out.
Okay. And was that successful?
Oh, yeah. They loved it. Everybody
Your friends
loved it.
and whoever went? Okay.
Yes.
So, but had you seen the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's
why you do it?
That's pinnacle. It was one of the first times I ever saw it with like a big group of people, which was pretty cool.
Okay. So your birthday's coming up, and you want to do the same kind of premise, and I think your number one movie of all time, especially comedy, is MacGruber.
Correct.
So you're renting this out.
What's crazy is like whenever someone's like, so what's your favorite movie? I'm like, oh, MacGruber.
Yeah.
Like, no, like not comedy, like of any movie.
MacGruber.
Yeah, MacGruber.
Yeah. But of all time, MacGruber. That's my answer. Lock it in. Final answer. So you've seen that multiple times.
Yes.
Will you want to just go because you love the movie? You want to have your friends? The people that are going, you think of the percentage, how many will have not seen it?
I would say it's probably 50-50.
Which it's not a movie that everybody's seen. Like it's, I've seen it. I enjoyed it a lot
because of me.
Yes. And it took me a while to see it.
Yeah.
But I ultimately did. And so for
Doug really liked the movie.
He did. And I will say this, if for you just want to get your friends and family, whoever, together to watch a movie that you love, but will the movie experience I don't know how to say it. Like, what's funny. You're going to have parts that you can't wait for. Are you going to be like, Jason hasn't seen this movie yet. Let me see his reaction. Or are you just going to watch the movie? Like,
no, I'm just going to be in it. I'm going to be in the moment.
Like, what if some people are like, what if could someone walk out of your movie?
Sure. I think
how disrespectful would that be?
It's one of those things. I wouldn't care. I'm watching the movie.
I know, but you would buy, that's like, hey, here's my big birthday party, and we haven't done cake or whatever the meal, and then people leave.
Well, what did you say about watching a comedy with me?
It's worth it.
So
it's a great. So that's my point. They may not be. I know for a fact the one movie that I saw with you, and what was the Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, Holmes and Watson, and Holmes,
Holmes and Watson.
It was awful.
Terrible.
It was awful.
I've never seen it again.
I don't even know if it's ever been on again. We went to the theater. I was sitting between you and Sean Cunningham, and that was the only good thing about the movie. And Will Ferrell could sneeze, and I laughed.
Yeah.
And
we laughed a lot in that movie, but it wasn't a good movie.
There was one part that you guys both laughed I didn't think it was that funny, but I started to laugh because of you two.
Was it like they were doing like an autopsy or something like that?
Wasn't there something like a bathtub?
I remember a bathtub.
I don't even know.
Maybe I do need to see it again.
No. But the other one I saw with you was
Dumber
2, which was funnier. There were funny parts. I don't know that it's great.
That was another scene of like, there was a scene where I was crying.
Yes. And I'm like, almost like, okay, Chris, like it went from, it's really funny being next to you. The laugh is great. Sean's got an all-time laugh. I'm between these guys. And it's funny when I'm watching. I'm like, Chris, like, okay, now I don't want to be sitting by you anymore. It's too much. You've gone too far.
There is a moment like that in the movie. Have you seen American Hustle?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a movie where they
which isn't that funny.
Oh, but it's the part. It's when they've got the recording of them like, hey, if you need us to shake someone down, do that. And they're like, oh, we got him. And it's like the FBI later, and they're replaying it, and the whole place is just like, yeah. And they're all celebrating. And it was, I can't think of his character. Bradley Cooper's character making fun of Louis C.K.'s character. And he's sitting down just like, and he's laughing and going like that. And I was at the Century Theater crying, laughing, hitting the armrests, laughing.
And probably the only one in the theater laughing.
You know, like people are laughing, but not as much as me. And my friend is like, stop, calm down.
Yes. Relax. A little too much for this.
Like I could not handle it.
Well, I think that will be successful. Actually, to me, it will be more fun for the people that haven't seen it because it's there are like a few scenes in that movie like, oh man, once we get there, like what is the reaction going to be? I know a couple of those are going to be. I think it's hilarious. It's a lot of movies like that, if there's 10 jokes, they don't all have to, and there's more than 10 jokes, but you don't always go 10 for 10, but they're pretty good ratio to me.
Yeah.
But I could see how some people are like, I didn't think it was funny. There was a couple people that I really wanted to see Anchorman after I saw it the first time. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, what? You didn't think that was funny? And they're like, yeah, there were some parts. I'm like,
it was weird. It didn't make sense.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. I just thought it was brilliant. And that's a good rewatchable one too. But anyway, we look forward to that. That's going to be in September?
Yeah.
See how it does. If you haven't seen MacGruber, maybe that's your watch this weekend, right?
It's always a good day to watch.
When was the last time you saw it?
Probably a couple months ago.
Okay. It's always
that
worth it.
And the show. The show is amazing too.
Yeah, which I didn't see, and I wanted to. I don't know why I ended up not seeing that, but I wanted to. They did one season?
Yeah, it's on Peacock.
Okay.
So.
Oh, okay.
But it's like one of those things of like, oh, I'm not doing anything on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like I could knock almost all of this out.
Yeah. By the way, is your other show still going? Cobra Kai, is it done or still happening?
It's the first half of the last season just came out.
Okay, gotcha.
Which I finished.
Oh, of course you did. All right, so everybody's caught up on that. Like we said, we got a big show when we come back. We've got leading off, tell you about today's top stories. We got so much to get into. We're glad you're here with us. And if you want to check in, you can. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140, text line, phone line, YouTube. Hello, everyone there on the YouTube. We thank you for being here. Friday show getting started next.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Snatch De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley's coming to town. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends. Farmerly, Tyler Rich, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by The Scoundrel Red Wine, Naturewood Home Furnishings, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
What would your younger self feel about this moment? How do you think she would react to you being the flag bearer?
Ooh, honestly, I have big goals, and I have a lot of goals that I want to accomplish. And honestly, flag bearer was one of those things I just never thought would happen, especially, even though tennis is like an Olympic sport, but, it's not maybe the most popular sport for the Olympics. So I just didn't think that was even a possibility. So I think she would just be really surprised in doing it alongside one of her idols, like LeBron is. I don't know. I've watched so many Heat games on TV in person. I've seen him in person a couple times. I've never met him, but I think I would like to say I've met him.
Coco Gauff talking about the opportunity to be the flag bearer, one of the flag bearers of the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, which again get underway today officially as far as the opening ceremonies. Chris and I are watching. I'm still watching rugby. What do we got? Ireland 10. Who was that? Fiji? Fiji 7. They score by 1 point?
No.
Is it more than one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't tell me how much it is, but I know it's more than one.
I'm waiting for the next score opportunity to see the score change, but we'll see. It's 10-7 to keep you up to date for those of you very interested in this. But I am interested in the Olympics. Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics, always have been a fan and always will be a fan. And yeah, we look forward to the official ceremonies. I think about that. What I always appreciate, like, Chris, to hear Coco Gauff there, who's still relatively young, but has been on the scene and famous and known, just to hear her talk about like someone like LeBron James.
Yeah.
It's like, well, wait, I just feel like all of those athletes, all these people know each other, and they kind of get like, oh my gosh, that's LeBron James. And where I think at past Olympics, like you've seen, I think LeBron went to see Michael Phelps or Simone Biles, and like they're in awe of them. I think that's awesome. I think we're all in awe of what all these people can do, but of athletes to be in awe of other athletes is kind of cool to me. I don't know why it is, but I've always found that to be interesting.
Or like being a fan of another athlete.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm a huge fan of Coco Gauff. And I bet LeBron is. And Coco's like, oh my gosh, I watched him in Miami Heat, all these, I just never met him, but which tonight's going to happen. And I just think that's a really cool, and you could see them probably doing pictures or Instagram. Like, I got to get this out for my fans, and just how giddy they are. And yeah, we're all just people, but it's, you know, certain status and elevation of self and how we think of some of these people are amazing. But the Olympics get going tonight, and with the official start of the opening ceremonies. All right, let's get to cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Abrams to right field. Johnson coming in. He makes the catch. No hits for the Nats. Dylan Cease throws a no-hitter. The second no-hitter in Padres history. There'll be a sea of San Diegans celebrating back home today.
A sea of San Diegans. By the way, Ireland scored, Chris. Was that a 5-pointer?
Yeah.
So it's 15-7. I can't even. So there's got to be different levels of scoring. Nothing's quite even here in how this has all happened. But okay. We'll learn our rugby rules in the quarterfinals. So Dylan Cease, no-hitter, second ever in the Padres history. They've been a team that had trouble getting no-hitters, but they have one as 2 now. That's still a great accomplishment. I never feel like those should be underplayed or undervalued. The ones that are always weird to me are the no-hitters that are like 5 pitchers combined in a no-hitter. I'm like, what? Come on. We couldn't have kept the starter in, or if it was an opener that just worked their way through 5. But it's rare. It's rare to have complete games, rare to get a no-hitter. But
Paul Skeens, he had a no-hitter going.
7, right?
Yeah.
Come on, what are we doing? Let Skeens work. I have not been to a game that had a no-hitter. I don't even know how far into a game I've been that I don't think I ever got to the point like, ooh, are we going to see a no-hitter? So I'm assuming I haven't been to a game where a pitcher lasted longer than 6 or 7 innings with a no-hitter.
I saw I believe it was a 27 batter 2-hit game.
Oh, okay.
And it's Tim Hudson versus the Red Sox.
Okay.
And it was like he gave up 2 hits, but like got 2 double plays like immediately.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like 83 pitches too. It was pretty impressive.
I've talked to some of my people that I know do scorekeeping, whether it's at Sac State or done it for the River Cats. And the game I always reference, and it's kind of stumped them. I went to, and I don't know what you think this rule would be, Chris, but I'll ask you as well. So I went to a River Cats game. I don't know how many years ago it was, maybe 7 now. And it was the first or second batter of the game, hit a pop-up foul. Easy pop-up to third base. The third baseman dropped it. Now it was foul. They gave him an error, which was weird, I thought, because, he should have caught it. There was no tricks to it. He dropped it, but nobody advanced on base. And then they got him out, and the game went on. And for a while, I want to say it was like 4 innings of a no-hitter. But I started to think, I was looking at the board, I'm like 0-0-1. I go, wait, wouldn't this be like if he went the rest of the way, didn't allow anybody on, it would have been 27 up, 27 down. And technically, in my mind, it would have been a perfect game. But there's an error on there. I go, but nobody reached base.
Yeah.
And I go, can you retroactively take the error away? Or is that not a perfect? Now, it didn't happen, but I was thinking, what would have happened? And it felt like the error was the right thing, but can you have an error if someone doesn't get on base?
Yeah.
And so they were like, yeah, I maybe would have taken away the error. I go, well, they ruled error, right? I mean,
what the weird thing is if he gets a hit, he's on.
Yeah, is
that
that
doesn't cost
an error?
Yeah.
Or do they take the error away? But I didn't feel like, unless the scoreboard like that I saw was late and maybe they took the error away later and just they didn't update. I don't know. I'd never seen something like that. And, you do enough baseball, you see something different. Again, they ultimately did not get the no-hitter or perfect game, but I always wondered what that would have been. We must have had a 10-pointer by Fiji. They're now up 17-15. I don't know what's going on. All right, let's get to cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
Now Shohei Ohtani, first pitch swinging, high in the air, right field, hit deep, toward the corner, carry ball, get out, it will! Back-to-back home runs for Ahmed and Ohtani, and just like that, it's 6-4.
Well, that momentum we were talking about yesterday, I say momentum, but Robbie Ray pitching brilliant, Dodgers, the Giants finally beating the Dodgers, yeah. Giants came back from a deficit yesterday, but ultimately lose to the Dodgers again. And back to that low point of, 6 games below 500, deadlines coming up. Giants, we got this coming up a little bit later, what I think the Giants should do, but won't. We'll have that coming up a little bit later in the show. But the Giants lose again to the Dodgers. They lose 3 of 4, and again, going the wrong way. Lots of competition out there for that final wild card spot. Giants probably will claim to be in it. Will probably, if I had to guess, be a little bit more aggressive and try to be buyers, but I think that selling market should be the route that they go. A couple things before we break here. Where was this? Eric says, love movie talk, favorite movies, Big Trouble in Little China, Tombstone, Jay and Silent Bob, Strike Back, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and about 50 more I can list. Oh, also Office Space. Okay. I think I've seen every one of those. Let me see. I don't think I saw Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. Was there 2 of those? Jay and Silent Bob?
There's a few of them.
Okay.
Well, there's
what's the?
What are you thinking of?
Jay and Silent Bob. I thought that was like, I don't know. Strikes Back. That part's not ringing a bell to me. But maybe
Will Ferrell's in it.
The second one or whatever this one
well,
is.
It's not really a second one. They're like part of.
Okay, then I don't.
Different
I definitely
movies.
didn't see that. Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate you guys checking in. Again, you can hit us on YouTube. You can hit us on our text line at 916-339-1140. Carmichael Dave on vacation. He will be back here from the European trip in a couple of weeks. We'll be all full circle when Chris and we take our cruise together. This is the MacGruber cruise. We've got all that.
Oh, if they ever put on a MacGruber cruise.
You're gone.
Gone.
You just like... That's the thing you need to host. You need to be the host of the MacGruber
like
cruise.
If everyone is on the cruise, from
the movie, and you get to constantly interview Will Forte and talk about why he made the genesis of the skit to the movie to the show.
What's bad is like I kind of know the story of all of that.
That's all right, but you would be filling in everybody else. Will's like, great question. You're like, yeah, I already know the answer and where you're going to go with this. All right, when we come back, we mentioned that the Olympics are going on right now. We've got quarterfinal rugby action, but also yesterday we talked about Team USA in soccer on the men's side. Well, the women have done something already the men couldn't do, and we've got that and more, including is the gold medal the best award in sports? We've got that next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SackdownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet Store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville. I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, A's lefty Hogan Harris spent the first 5 seasons in the organization dealing with injuries and threw less than 200 innings during that time, but now his promise is coming to fruition. In the first game of the Astros series at home, Harris, making his 9th start this year, blanked the Astros over 6 2/3 and lowered his ERA down to 2.98.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver that includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay to store bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
Cleaning up a few things from the text line in our YouTube chat. Jason Ross, Christopher Laud here. We're talking movies early on in the show. Yeah, I guess people, Chris, are referring to Eric saying you're missing out on Will Ferrell's best movie role.
And what?
I think it was what you just said in the Jay and Silent Bob. Is it?
He's fine in it.
When he rides up on that moped, I lost it. Okay, I didn't see that one. Will Ferrell old school marriage counseling scene, classic.
Oh, the best scene in that movie is when they do Good Will Hunting 2 hunting season.
Okay. Also on the text line, we were talking about, what baseball, have you been to a baseball game that had, how far of a game could you go to that had a no-hitter, like Dylan Cease throwing a no-hitter yesterday, the Padres Nationals game. Let's see. I was at the Yankees-A's game on June 28th, 2023, when Domingo Germán threw a perfect game. Never thought I'd see something like that. Best in-person sports moment of my life. I added to them, I asked, that had to be amazing. Are you an A's or Yankees fan, or maybe just an MLB fan? They said, Yankees fan. My dad was from New York, brought him the tickets for Father's Day, sat right behind home plate. Unbelievable. That's cool. What an experience.
So you're a big Yankee fan.
Yes.
If you're at a game and the other team is pitching a perfect game, are you rooting for the perfect game?
Not at all.
Let's say they're already up like 9-0. So the game is like...
So we're in the 9th, 9-0. Would I rather be a part of a perfect game to say... What's that, to say that I saw it?
Yeah.
Or have the Yankees get like a broken bat single to not have a perfect game and lose 9-0? I mean, as a sports fan, it probably should be the first. See the perfect game. But I don't know that I'd be thrilled. I would though then say, well, I went to that. At least I went to that perfect game. I'm trying to. What has been? That's actually a good question. What has been your worst experience as a fan for your team, but maybe it was something somewhat historical on the other side?
I don't know if it was historical, but Mexico beating the U.S. 3-2 in extra time, and the Gold Cup final in Pasadena was
a tough one.
It's like one of those things, like a wave of sound from the Mexico fans, like hit me in the face.
I mean, being a UCLA fan, I remember being at USC a couple of times, especially like the Reggie Bush era. And I mean, you're watching greatness, and you actually can. I'm like, oh my gosh, some of the things you're seeing.
And you're going to the game knowing that you're probably going to get
I always, me, I'm always like, hey, there's a chance. You see, there's a chance, and it's 28-0, and you're not even comfortable yet. You're like, I mean, you're just sitting in it, and you're like, I don't. He's good. This Leinart guy's good. Lindale White, Reggie Bush, like. I did go to one where it was 50-0 SC over UCLA, and you're just like, yeah, I did want to come down to see this. I did think there was a chance, and again, not historic maybe in that sense, but just painful. Where you just, and I'm that guy. I stayed the whole time. It's like, I'd just be miserable the entire time. The women U.S. soccer team won yesterday. I believe that was also 3-0, wasn't it?
Correct.
They won 3-0. Are they the favorite? I didn't even look at that. So they're supposed to win, Team USA. I don't know why Team USA went. Why is Team USA women's soccer so much farther ahead than men's soccer?
I think in the U.S. we invested more in women's sports, especially with Title IX.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got that infrastructure that just other countries are catching up to.
Yeah. But the women are great. The men are terrible. It's just,
well, then also it's different because like with the women's soccer, like anybody can play. And in the men's soccer tournament, it's an under 23 tournament.
For the Olympics?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So you can't have your best play. That's like from the...
Does that increase the U.S. chances or not at all? Or does it not? Is it irrelevant?
I mean, like, their under 23 team just hasn't been like good.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It just felt like, I don't know if we'd made it a point of emphasis for the last decade or so, but it's irrelevant, I guess.
Yeah. So that's why you're not seeing Messi playing for Argentina. You're not seeing Ronaldo play for Portugal. You're not seeing like the best of the best soccer player in the men's tournament.
But so yesterday we spent a good amount of time with Sam Amick talking about, how the world is caught up to USA in basketball. I mean, the USA is still the favorite. I think it's going to be tough for them. I think they'll win gold, but people have caught up. How come it's taken longer for this powerful, think we're better than everyone country of the U.S. in soccer to catch up with the rest of the world?
Well, the rest of the world is also trying to be better than the rest of the world.
I know, but it's like I'm sure Team USA is trying to do the same in basketball, but we're not like shaking free and going, there's nobody that can touch us.
There's no real infrastructure in the U.S. to there's not like
soccer.
A feeder system that just like, oh, we finally got our team. Watch out in 8 years when all of these kids are in their 20s.
Yeah.
This is a team to watch.
Right.
Like, we don't have that.
We haven't had that. Well, they'll all be chasing a gold medal. Is the gold medal the best award in sports? I mean, I think there's something about, like LeBron, Steph, KD, all these guys, Tatum, all the Celtics that just won a title. They've all just won what everybody's chasing in the NBA. They've all won an NBA title. But there's something about being on the podium, getting a medal over your neck, hearing the national anthem that I think is pretty spectacular. I obviously there's individual sports, individual awards, but to me, the gold medal would be about as good as it gets. And I think that's, like when you're introduced, like Hall of Famer has a ring to it, obviously, Heisman Trophy winner, whatever, MVP. But if you're like gold medal winner, or if you're multiple gold medal winner, that's pretty cool. I don't even know if the medal itself is that amazing. It's just kind of what it has represented over the past. It may not mean the same to everybody anymore, but I think it's still a pretty cool to say you're the best of the best in that sport.
Well, in the tournament of Global Guts on Nickelodeon, you got a gold medal and a piece of the aggro crag. So
explain all of that, what you just said.
You don't know any of that? So Guts, then there's Global Guts, which was like different countries. It was like a kid's, like, it was kind of like you do different events. So there'd be like a thing where you do like a bungee basketball game where you bungee jump and you dunk and stuff. And then you get points reward to that. And then the final stage was you had to climb this like mountain, and you had to hit these different, like, you have to get different flags, and the first person up top of the aggro crag got the most points. And then if you got the most points combined, then you got first place, gold medal, and a piece of the aggro crag.
This is no longer a Nickelodeon, is it?
No.
It's when you're saying climbing up the mountain, that's sounding vaguely familiar to me.
Yeah, it's always like, you remember American? It was like a kid's American Gladiator, basically.
Yeah, I did watch American Gladiator.
Oh, who didn't love American Gladiators?
That was always so intense. Yeah, but the gold medal, I mean, come on, that's something so special to hear the anthem. I think certainly, when it's going to be in the U.S. for Salt Lake City for the Winter Olympics, when it's going to be in L.A. in 2028. And I feel for the people that are in sports. Like, look, if Team USA with LeBron and Steph and all of them do not win the gold medal, they'll hear it. They'll be a part of however that'll be labeled if they don't win it. But Chris, I feel for the people that are in lesser sports that have spent the last 4 years, but more importantly, probably the last 8 to 12,
actually probably their entire lives,
training, and it's Paris, and then they get there and heaven forbid get injured. I mean, sick, bad performance, not their day. You're like, wow. I mean, you did all of that for this. And not that this is the only thing. There's other competitions. There's other benchmarks along the way. But
that's even when you win.
Yeah, it's also kind of like, okay, this is the peak, but like, man, it's just a bizarre.
Michael Phelps had that documentary out, which is amazing. I suggest everybody watch it. But it was this idea of like, you've trained your entire life, specifically 4 years to get to this point, to be the best of the best. And even if you it's almost better if you don't win, because you're thinking like, okay, I'm still got a chance next time.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go into double drive. But it's this idea of like, you spent your entire life doing this one thing to get to this one spot, and then it's done. And then after that, it's, what do I do now?
Yeah, I've said this, and people may not believe this, and I hope we have this problem. Believe me when I say this. But Chris says, Kings fans here, everybody, if there's ever a day where they get through this whole thing and win a championship, 98% of it will be pure elation, joy, so happy. This is what we've been chasing. But that other there'll just be this little weird thing, like, not that's it, but it's over. Like, you enjoy this whole journey, and it's like, oh my gosh, I got through the first round. Wow, they just won that one in 7 games. Oh my gosh, conference finals. Can they win the whole thing? And then they do again. Elation, pure joy, but either the love of that team, you'll want to see them still play, and maybe the team breaks up a little bit. You'll have enjoyed this so much that, like, there's no game tomorrow.
Yeah, it will be the day after the parade. Will be like, oh.
I mean, we're still thrilled, like, beyond belief. Again, I'm not saying there's a depression. That's not it. It's just, oh, well, I want to see more games. Like, I love this. That was, it was torture. It was joyous, but like, it's over. And so the thrill of chasing something is I think is it. And when you get there, that's the incredible accomplishment, gold medalists. But then you see what's next. And what's next for us? 3 questions in safe or out, including, could this be the right time to try to trade A's closer Mason Miller with his bizarre injury? We'll explain all that and more in safe or out next.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
They're going to give it. No, it's a play action. Purdy going to roll left, throw for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. He has the hat trick tonight, a career high. 3 touchdown catches for George. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Summer is finally here, and so are all the best deals on DeWalt power tools at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. Drills, impacts, circular saws, you name it, we have it for the best price in town, guaranteed. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a seasoned tradesman, we've got all the DeWalt products you need to crush your next project. So come on down to Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet today on Power and Road for better tools and better prices. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hi, welcome to Staples.
Hi, my son's teacher emailed his back-to-school list. He needs crayons and a comp book for every subject.
Okay, no problem. With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school.
Oh, now they're saying he needs folders and glue.
You got it.
And markers?
Of course.
Oh, geez.
Can we get a cart, please?
Save big on back to school with Staples Hot Deals. Right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and comp books are only 50 cents each at Staples. Ends 8/24, in-store only, limit 30. Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, safe or out time. 3 questions that we basically decide just that. Is it safe or out? All baseball related here. So Chris Verlade, hit us with question number 1.
Safe or out? Max Scherzer has had a better career than Justin Verlander.
Okay, now this is a topic because just yesterday, Max Scherzer moved into the top 10 all-time in strikeouts. He surpassed Justin Verlander. So on the surface, I was like, oh, Justin Verlander's had the better career. Then you start to go into the numbers, and Justin Verlander has pitched more games, so that gives him a little bit of a head start, more innings pitched. Has more wins, it's 260 to 216. But then you go into the rest of the stats. ERA, Max Scherzer. Strikeouts now, Max Scherzer. He's had fewer walks, better walk rate, better strikeout rate. Cy Youngs, it's 3-3. All-star appearances, Verlander 9-8. Championships 2-2. It's really close. It's really close between those two. I think all along my gut reaction was Justin Verlander. Did you have a feeling one way or the other, Chris, when you're thinking, oh, who's better, Justin Verlander
Yeah,
or Max
immediately
Scherzer?
Verlander.
I couldn't believe how close it was. Now, again, wins, and I think more people would probably lean Verlander. I think he's been more front and center, maybe, for a longer amount of time, but Max Scherzer's had a great career. I guess I'll say out because the question is Max Scherzer had a better career? But it's really, really close. And I'll lean towards Verlander, but that could change if more stats keep accumulating in favor of Max Scherzer. All right, number 2.
Safer out. You would get a hit off the Nationals position player that threw a 33-mile-per-hour pitch.
Oh, yeah, I did remember his name. Oh, yeah, it's Vargas. So I'm looking it up here. I don't know if you saw the pitch. I mean, literally, he lobs it. 33 miles per hour. So it's not one of those things I could hit that guy. We couldn't hit Major League pitching. I could hit a 33-mile-an-hour pitch. I could. I also might swing and miss. I shouldn't, but I could. The question is, could I get a hit? I mean, baseball is one of the oddest sports in the fact that, Chris, I think you and I could. I think we could. I also think that could be Shohei Ohtani up there and he hit it right to somebody.
Yeah.
So it just would depend. I'm not hitting a home run. Could I get it past an infielder? Yes. Would I for sure? No.
I think I get too excited and just like swing over it.
It's like, it's coming. Yeah. I mean, basically what it looks like is it looked like a slow pitch softball. I mean, extremely slow pitch. He just lobs it 33 miles an hour. And the first guy he threw that one to, I think, just hit a line drive up the middle. Now, again, line drive could have been hit to shortstop, third base, a little deeper to the outfield. What speed of pitch do you think is the cutoff for you? You're like, okay, that's getting too fast for me.
80 something, like mid 80s.
Mid 80s? That's bringing it pretty good. I mean, obviously these guys now are getting.
Now I'm thinking of like when I was playing high school baseball, so it's probably way
rare
less
for people to get. I'm trying to think. Some of the best guys I've batted against in high school. There were some people that were hitting 80s, low 80s, probably. Maybe a few above that. Not much.
There's one guy that was like pitching 90 against us, and I was just like, nope.
I mean, didn't it sound different?
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, I could see.
I could hear it go past me.
Yes. And it's like my brain swing. Oh, I already heard the glove. It's gone. It's past me. And then now the reality is when you start getting to that kind of pitching, like major league level, the fact that it's now moving. Like, I think, I don't know, I don't know the last time I went to the batting cages, but I still would try to do that exercise where I'd go to the fastest machine at some point and try to hit it. And you're like, the first couple times, like, oh my gosh. But I mean, it's generally coming in the same spot. And once you finally time, it's like, okay, foul ball. Oop, got it. Okay. You know, I'm just really hurrying up my swing, but the ball's basically coming in the same general spot. I just couldn't even imagine seeing 100, then someone throwing a changeup at 88, and just incredible. But a 33-mile-an-hour pitch for these guys, I wonder what that even looks like. It's just bizarre. But I would say, yes, I could hit it. Would I get a hit? Flip a coin. Just does it get by somebody? Who knows? All right, question number 3.
Safer out. A's closer Mason Miller landing on the injured list will keep him from getting traded.
Yeah, yesterday I was talking about this is the time to trade Mason Miller. I mean, I really felt like it would be for the A's, not in the typical way that they've done this in the past where everybody gets frustrated because they have, kind of this desire to build up their players, and then we get attached to the player, and then boom, their best players get dealt to other teams. In this case, the back end of the bullpen is such a premium for playoff teams. The A's are so far from a playoff team. Yes, I know he may be one of their best players, but I thought it would be of best interest to trade him and to try to get as much as they possibly could for him, because I don't envision the A's being a great team next year, maybe even the year after that. And if he's your best asset, I just don't know what you're doing with a closer that is dominant, but I mean, you're not winning that many games. You have the second or third worst record in baseball. So he's not having the impact he should. And if you could then flip him and get much more and help your farm system or future stars in this team, that's the way I would do it. Now the injury, though, I mean, if you're teams like the Orioles, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Braves, pick your teams that are trying to do some damage in the postseason, he instantly became less appealing. So I'd say that's safe. I think it's going to hurt the chances of dealing him. All right. First hour in the books, much more to get to in the next hour. As we go to break, here is your opportunity early in the show today. We're giving things away. And it's Mick and the Stones tribute show. Experience the ultimate tribute band, Mick and the Stones, this August, only at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for caller number 4 to score the pair of tickets to check an unforgettable night of songs that you know from Mick and the Stones, only at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com. Again, caller number 4, 1-800-920-1140 or 916-339-1140. 1140. All right, when we come back, we begin the 7 o'clock hour. All right, what we do know about the Sacramento Kings schedule hasn't been released yet, not coming out till next month. A few things with the in-season tournament, also some preseason things being leaked. We'll let you know that when we come back.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it? Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is finally Friday. We're looking at mostly sunny skies and temperatures not as hot for the afternoon. After a pleasant morning, we'll see daytime highs in lower to mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
What's up? Talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Make This D's summer sales events?
Right now, save up to $12,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Laramie or Tradesman. For work or for play, you pick. If you need a heavy-duty Ram truck, Hoblet should be your first stop to find what you need at the best price.
Oh, you're going all out this month.
From the time my grandfather opened the first Hoblet dealership back in 1949, one thing we've strived for is to treat you like family. That's why you'll find the big city selection and savings with over 400 Rams available, but the small town care and attention when you buy from Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram.
You won't find a bigger selection or better deals on the truck you want. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
12,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 and 3500 after 2,000 Hoblet Select inventory bonus cash. Lambie's include 9,500 dealer discount and 500 first responder bonus cash for current members of qualifying First Responder Association. Tradesmen include 7,000 dealer discounts and 5,000 factory rebates. Rebates include 1,500 commercial bonus cash for current business owners with valid tax ID. At least 5 of each offer. Sample VIN 103767 and 221741. See dealer for details.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable, nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Hey, get ready to rock, groove, and have a blast with the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. We've got an unbeatable lineup of shows that you won't want to miss. It's Brett Young and Chase Rice at Thunder Valley on August 3rd. Plus, Jason Mraz and the Super Band will be rocking Thunder Valley on August 9th. Then head out of the heat to higher elevation for the Truckee Music Festival on August 9th and 10th, featuring Kit Moore and Sublime. And here's your Live Nation lineup. On August 4th, don't miss the Outlaw Music Festival at Toyota Amphitheater featuring Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. On August 15th, catch Donnie Osmond at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Then on August 22nd, Creed Fisher takes the stage at Ace of Spades. And on September 10th, enjoy the timeless sounds of the Doobie Brothers at Toyota Amphitheater. Rounding out this rockin' lineup is the Lodi Grape Festival from September 12th through the 15th, featuring Joe Nichols and Smash Mouth. For information and tickets, visit grapefestival.com. And then stay tuned to Sacktown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and, of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
$7 o'clock hour is here. Congrats. We had a winner on our giveaway. Who was our winner, Chris?
John.
Congrats, John. Making winners each and every day here on Sacktown Sports. Hopefully everybody's ready for a good Friday, good weekend ahead. I do want to take this moment. I don't do this enough, I would say. I went to a really, really cool event last night. Premier Pools and Spas. I will say I am a client, I guess, of theirs. We got a pool through them. Just amazing people. About four or 5 years ago, went through that process, and just the entire process was really fun to see it. The excitement of watching a pool being built and then ultimately to fruition and then having a pool. It's just always wanted one since I was a kid. Always did that thing like where I'd had friends that had pools and would want to get to their house. Can we go swimming? Can we go swimming? And then would hate when if Chris, you had a pool and then you'd go ask your mom, hey, Jason wants to know if we could go swimming. I didn't say that, even though I did. I would hate.
Oh, and when you'd show up to the pool, just knowing there was a pool and then you show up and they have a slide into the pool. That was like, what?
You have this? Are you here every minute of every day? Or a diving board, but the slide was something special, huh?
Yes,
if someone had a slide, it didn't even matter what it
and
looked
it was
like.
never like a good slide.
No, it didn't have to be, and maybe even it hurt a little bit.
Yeah,
but it was like
it was all bumpy and stuff.
I'm going on that slide. I feel like is that a thing of the past? And maybe that's a safety thing. I don't even know. Like, I don't see many. I'm trying to think of the last house that I've been to that had a pool that had a slide.
Because it was always like that fiberglass one that had that slight turn into the pool.
Yeah, I mean, it never was straightforward. Diving boards seem to be I'm sure there's something safety related. Maybe now pools are getting like rock formations that you could either jump off a rock or slide in, but they're probably not the safest things to do as far as that goes. But as far as the event, 35 years of honoring the company. They redid their showroom out there, but it's just awesome. Awesome people out there that have done great work. I can speak for that for sure. But just good to see what they've done in the community and hearing that, man, over 22,000 pools have been built by this company. And just, it was fun. Good people out there, people that I've gotten to know. And it was really cool to be a part of that last night and a good turnout. And so just wanted to give them a shout out. It was fun to do that and see some great people out there. And yeah, I would strongly recommend if you're ever in the need of a pool or pool service or anything like that, they would be the ones I would recommend. That's for sure. So as we went to break, I was telling you about the little bit of nuggets we found out about the Sacramento Kings schedule. We do know their year 2 of the in-season tournament is happening. I don't know what the overall vibe is going to be from the players on year 2 of the in-season tournament. I will say year one was successful. That was a good showing. I felt as doing the NBA now for this will be season 31 coming up for me. The regular season can be a bit monotonous. There is a grind to it. I appreciate that. That's actually one of my favorite things about it, but it's not for everybody. And it's like, oh, here's another game, a Wednesday game in December. Yeah, absolutely. It's the way this works. But I appreciate that it's not for everyone, but I also can see how going through that grind kind of leads to some less stellar performances over time, right? Like you don't always have everybody sharp through all 82. But what we did have with the in-season tournament last year, I thought was something that was successful. You had teams that really had a different sense of purpose, sense of urgency, trying to become the first team to win the first in-season tournament. And I thought it was successful. Now, byproduct of that, the Kings did well. They won their pool play. They went 3-1, but that was close. Remember, the Warriors think were 3-1. The T-Wolves were 3-1. But based on tiebreakers and different things, the Kings were the team that advanced. Now, the byproduct in this sense was the Kings ultimately didn't win the in-season tournament. That was won by the Lakers over the Pacers. But the Kings' extra games, there's 2 extra games in there. They had to play New Orleans, who ultimately knocked them out, which they knocked them out several times during the year with 6 losses to them, including the final one of the year in the play-in tournament. Not the play-in tournament, the play-in for the playoffs. And then their other game that they got added onto there was the Phoenix Suns, another team that was kind of in the same spot as the Kings, trying to advance. They didn't, and then they had to play an extra game against Phoenix. So, scheduling in an 82-game season when, in the West is that tight and you miss a playoff spot or a seed by a game is a big deal. So the Kings had to play 2 very good teams, an extra game in the Suns and the Pelicans. My example to this, Minnesota had a fantastic year and deserved everything they got. They also went 3-1 in the in-season tournament. They didn't advance, so they were given 2 extra games. The 2 extra games they got, they won. But it was the Spurs and the Memphis Grizzlies, 2 of the worst teams last year. So they benefited from that. And that's something that can happen. This year, I don't know how it'll shake out with the team in Group A for the Kings, but their matchups will be against Minnesota, the Clippers, Houston, and Portland. I think that's a little bit more favorable than, let's say, Group C, which, what was that? Yeah, it was Denver, Dallas, New Orleans, Golden State, and Memphis. Wow. That's brutal. But the Kings, depending on how they do, will get a couple extra games, and we'll see where that shakes out for them. As far as some schedule leaks, we got to wait for the regular season schedule. It's usually ballpark at mid-August, August 15th, kind of around there. I'm guessing it's going to be about that as well. Some teams have already released their preseason schedule. The Kings have not, but you can start, plugging and playing in a few things, and I've seen about 6 or 7 teams that have released their preseason schedule. Lakers always do it very early, and the Kings usually are on the Lakers' schedule, but they're not this year. And I've always thought, last year, if I remember right, the Kings had 4, maybe 5 preseason games. They had that one in Vancouver against Toronto, but I always thought just play the Warriors, maybe the Lakers, Clippers. I mean, no need to travel far. Make it as easy as possible on you, on your team, on travel. And I mean, literally, if they just play the Warriors 4 times, 2 there, 2 here, I know that's maybe you want to see other teams, but if we go back to the preseason last year, that was one of the better preseason moments I could remember in a long time, where the Kings are in San Francisco playing the Warriors, and, Steve Kerr, Mike Brown, good friends, know each other well. And the Kings started making this great comeback, leaving their big guns in a preseason game. And then here's Steve Kerr bringing back in Curry and I think Draymond was playing, Wiggins and Clay at the time. And it turned out to be a great preseason finish. Didn't mean anything, but it was a fun, entertaining game. So what we know so far is that on October 11th, the Kings will be at the Warriors Chase Center for a preseason game. And then the Kings will have a home game against the Blazers on Sunday the 13th. That's the only 2 I know of so far that I've seen, been able to deduce from other people's schedules. The Kings will probably release that, like I said, in a week or so. But But it just gives you that reminder that, it's off season. It feels like it's far away. It's not that far away. We're getting closer and closer to all that. And the odd thing about the NBA, like you kind of get to that media day and then boom, there's the preseason. And then right after that, before long, here comes the regular season. And there's just not a lot of leeway. There's not, weeks and weeks of camp. Which is probably good. But what becomes interesting in the grind that I kind of appreciated and talked about and loved about the NBA season, what they don't get is a ton of practice time. And I think over the years, that would be the area that I would say has changed the most amongst teams is fewer and fewer practices, less and less time, at least on the court, seemingly. I didn't say that, but I mean, there's still weight training, film study, other team bonding things, and team, they still have obligations. But, if you've got a road trip coming up, 5 games and 9 days or something like that. I mean, a lot of those off days, they're trying to keep people off their feet and is limited practice. And, there's communication, but I would say less practice going on over the years is something I've certainly noticed. So that's all we know at this point. To me, I know when the schedule comes out, it feels like a huge deal for me. For other people, it's like, okay, 41 at home, 41 on the road. Who cares? And I guess as someone that's worked it's just kind of my roadmap. Always look at, okay, which holidays are they playing on or around, or what's going on? Where are the quirks? Okay, that weird long stretch on the road, or how many home games? You just try to see what stands out when the schedule comes out. Obviously, the main teams you're going to play home and road. But if there's a team you want to see, that maybe is something you do as a Kings fan. Like maybe you're also a fan of another team or a player. Oh, when's Tyrese Halliburton coming in? When will Harrison Barnes make his return? There'll be things like that to watch, certainly when the schedule is officially released. Want to remind you, coming up at 8 o'clock, we go in depth on what's going on at Niners camp with Matt Barrows from The Athletic. He is going to join us at 8. Also, some Olympic talk with our locals that we need to be following as the Olympics are underway in Paris. Michelle Dapper from KCRA Channel 3, sports anchor and reporter, will join us at 8:30. When we come back, we got 3 for Madness. 3 questions, 3 answers. Think about this one as we go to break. Which Olympic sport, if you were given 4 years to train for, do you think you would have the best chance to compete in? We've got that question, that answer, and more coming up on 3 for Madness.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, 3 questions, 3 answers. All brought to you by nobody at this point, but if you'd like to sponsor 3 for Madness, you could. Chris has our questions. People are already chiming in on our last one that'll be coming your way. Chris, question number 1.
Ace closer Mason Miller had a freak injury when he broke his pinky finger out of frustration. What is your strangest injury?
I think I witnessed yours, didn't I?
I don't think that was my strangest.
Oh, okay. Story to follow. So Chris's strangest injury isn't thinking he got kicked or clubbed in the back of the leg and the calf by Deuce or me or somebody in the other room at the radio station.
I didn't think it was you.
Because you saw me, huh? I
don't know. I didn't see you.
Yeah,
I was alone in the room.
You just didn't think it was me. But you didn't. Did you technically tear a muscle or?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it wasn't Achilles, which is amazing.
Which you thought it was.
Yeah. I mean, based on like non-contact.
But that's not really strange. I just tore my calf running.
In the radio station, that's a little weird. It's a little weird. These are always, I mean, this isn't the strangest injury. We've seen people punch a wall and get frustrated and hurt their hand. That happens. I always think of, who was that? Marty Cordova of the Twins that was out because he burned his face because he wanted to see if the iron was hot.
Yeah.
There's been people with video game injuries.
There was a
Nintendo
San Francisco
thumb.
Giant in the early 2000s that I want to say broke his hand during the playoffs.
Punching, frustrated or?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've said this story. I mean, to me, the strangest one I had, and I wouldn't even know it. Well, it was a short-term injury, but I was at the grocery store, and I mean, it's one of the things we all have that, and you'll all know it as you get older, but you're getting older, just weird things happen. You could sleep wrong, you hurt your, I mean, that has happened to people, but I bent down to pick up a can of beans from the bottom shelf at a grocery store and just had shooting pain go right at my back. I didn't even think I was going to be able to get out of the store. Didn't turn weird. It wasn't a heavy bag. It wasn't a bag of beans. It was a can, mid-sized can. Just something went wrong. And boy, that pain, man, I literally felt it go up my spine. I was like, man. And that was a few interesting days of, and you just don't like, what'd you do to your back? Picking up a can of beans. Like, that's not even a good story. So Chris, if it wasn't the calf, in studio when no one hits you, what's your strangest injury?
I think I told the story of when we were in a basketball tournament and I was just doing something stupid to make my friends laugh and I jumped on one of the cots.
That's right.
And it sandwiched me.
Like a cartoon.
And I got hit in the face by like the metal bar.
Yeah. So it's more of an eye and probably embarrassment too.
Yeah. Well, then, no, like the worst part of it wasn't even that like I had a black eye. It was my coach saying like, oh, what happened? And then me lying and saying like, oh, I tripped on my bag and I fell and I hit the bed. And then he immediately thinks something's up. And then he's just like, hey, he takes me aside away from everybody. He's like, you can tell me what really happened.
Yeah,
is anyone like
funny business?
Is anyone like hurting you?
Yeah. Like, no, this is what I
No, I
actually
jumped
did.
on the bed and I hit my face. And just his reaction. What?
Yeah.
It's like, that's what happened. He's just like,
and knowing you and how you and your friends probably were like, do they make fun of you still to this day about that?
no.
No?
No.
Oh.
It's not the stupidest thing I've done, so of course not.
Yes. All right. Question number 2.
Question 2.
If you are a fielder and your pitcher is throwing a no-hitter, do you want the final out attempt to be hit at you or to someone else?
Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid of that. I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to make the error or but I wouldn't be fearful of that. I've always, I mean, again, not to any super level like this, but trying when I played, I wanted the ball hit to me. Like, it's just more engaging, more interesting, kind of thought ahead. Usually that's what I would try to do. Like, okay, here's the scenario, that runner, okay, faster, got to watch them. I don't know. I just liked thinking about the game when I was playing the game. So, yeah, I would. Generally, in these no-hitters or perfect games, there's someone that makes just an amazing play. There was just on social media the other day, I think it was an anniversary of Mark Burley of the White Sox perfect game, and I had forgotten about out 26 was, and pardon me, I don't remember the center fielder for the White Sox at the time, but makes this just unbelievable. There's a ball hit to the gap. You could tell he's closing on it, has to jump, robs him of a home run, kind of snow cones it, and then juggles and falls to the ground and then has the ball. I mean, it's just an amazing play. But, when you have to get 27 outs to get all of them, usually there's some sort of magical play along there. And so the last one shouldn't be any more stressful. I know it probably feels like it. But, yeah, hit me the ball. Give me the chance. I don't want it to go somewhere else. So I have another teammate that could screw it up. How about you, Chris? What would you rather the ball hit to you or get it somewhere else?
Is it a perfect game or a no-hitter?
Does it make a difference?
Mm-hmm.
A perfect game.
Hit it to somebody else.
No hitter.
You can hit it to me.
Yeah, because you're like, it's just a no-hitter.
Worst case scenario, I get an error and they still have no hits.
Yeah, but the perfect game. You're right, I guess, if it's phrased that way. But it was a perfect game. Not a perfect game. It was a no-hitter yesterday for the Padres. Dylan Cease. All right, let's get to question number 3.
Question 3.
Which Olympic sport, if you were given 4 years to train for, do you think you would have the best chance to compete in?
Okay, I know there's a lot of you weekend warriors out. If I had 4 years, I'd win the gold. Okay, relax. This question we teased.
That's very similar to the, if I get a couple months of training, I could beat Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, it's like, good. Go for it. Best of luck to you. We asked this question as a tease going to the break. What were some of our answers? Mark said wrestling. Oof.
No way.
Campeo said breakdancing. I would say, to me, when I immediately think of this question, Chris, I and it's almost going to take every sport away, but anything you start thinking about speed and power, just remove it.
Yes.
So that gets to a pretty short list. And honestly, the first thing I thought of, which as of this minute, I have zero experience in. So it's probably, like I've played baseball, I've played basketball, I've played football, I've played soccer, golf, tennis, swimming. A lot of the things that are considered and are sports in the Olympics, I would choose none of those. The one I have zero experience in, and maybe I'm 100% naive in this, but I'm not going to win the Olympics. But if I had 4 years of training, I think it's archery.
Oh, mine would be shooting.
Same idea, right?
Exactly.
Because it's not, I'm not going to be stronger or faster or have more endurance or tougher or any of that. But again, 4 years at that, not even remotely going to be a factor. But I think that's the one where I go, yeah, I represented myself okay. But if I just start going through some of the sports, like boxing, no chance.
I want to say that Gina Davis competed as an archer in the Olympics.
Yes, sounds right. Or attempted to. Did she compete in?
Maybe. I know that she didn't win, but I want to say maybe the Atlanta or Sydney Olympics.
Okay, that's worth looking up, I think. Like fencing, there's so much skill, strategy that over 4 years of constant training. Sure, I'm sure you'll pick up some things. The other one I thought of, and is this stupid, but like sailing. Could sailing be one? Like,
you don't have the type of money to.
Well, that's true. But I mean, if I given 4 years, 4 years to work on it, yeah, I mean, sport climbing, no way.
Sport climbing is insane.
Yeah, there's no. I'm just looking at the list here. Weightlift, no. I know they say as you get older, you kind of, for whatever reason, get some better endurance. So, like, what's the one I just looked at? Marathon swimming. I mean, training for 4 years. Could I compete the distance? I guess. I mean, complete, not compete. Because, again, we're not talking about competing in this. Matt says, I would focus on curling. Well, yeah, that's Winter Olympics.
Yeah, that would be my Winter Olympics.
I think that's a good one for Winter Olympics. But summer, you say shooting, I say archery. I think we're in the right general realm.
So Gina Davis, she was one of 300 women who vied for a semifinals berth in the U.S. Olympic archery team to participate in Sydney Olympics in 2000. She placed 24th and did not qualify for the team, but participated as a wildcard entry in the Sydney International Golden Arrow competition. And this gives you a little bit of credence to it. In August 1999, she stated that she was not an athlete growing up and that she entered archery in 1997, 2 years before her tryouts.
Okay, so she finished, what did you say, 20 or 12th out of how many?
24th out of 300.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were in a pool of 300 and I was like 270 and better, I'd be pretty thrilled.
And mate, what if she had like an extra year or two?
Right. So I think we've got the right. I mean, I'm just trying to think of I'm looking at the list of any other possible things. I mentioned fencing. That's probably foolish to say.
Fencing is wild.
Yeah. Canoe slalom? No. Anything with cycling, do you think? No. What am I thinking? Diving? No. Equestrian? No, I think we've got him. And like when you think like table tennis, I've played ping pong. Yeah, you've played ping pong. You can play table tennis. Like, man, some of the things those athletes can do is just crazy. I think it's shooting. How about badminton? No, 4 years.
Man, they are like
that's another level.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 other levels. I think we got it. I don't know if anyone else has any other suggestions via text line. Some say again, we got more on curling, speed walking. How about that?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated did like a feature on speed walking, and just the amount of just your body is getting pounded, and you have to. It's like you're not running full speed or anything like that, so you have to keep your muscles like in complete unison with each other.
It just looks weird,
and like they say, like it just destroys your hips.
Really? Why would anybody do that? And you're probably thinking I'm taking less off my knees, and yeah, maybe off your knees, but you're killing your hips.
Because it's like I want to say like the shortest one is like 25 kilometers.
Really?
So I mean that's, or maybe it's 50 kilometers. I don't know. I know it's really long.
Here's one coming in as a counterpoint. You obviously have never tried archery. It's hard as heck. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not. Again, the question
but there's there is a tiny chance that archery would work. There is no chance I'm going to be competing in the 100-meter sprint.
Right. Even 4 years of so here's what would happen if you and I started training today for 4 years to be in the 100 meters. Whatever our time is today in 4 years, we'll be better. I can guarantee that. I don't even know if I'm remotely close. No, I know I wouldn't be remotely close to them. We would be better at anything if we had 4 years of training at it. But I'm trying to shrink the gap of what the best person would be versus us. And
yeah, we could have 4 years of archery training and just like, okay.
I'd be better.
Yeah.
I bet I would be pretty good at it. But my version of pretty good, these are the best of the best in the world. We're not going to be that. We get it. But if you're trying to say, go do weightlifting, I would get better. There's no chance. Go do boxing. I would improve. I would get killed in there. So I think we've got it between shooting and archery, I think. But rowing? How about rowing?
No way.
I'm just looking for any other possibilities. Again, we're not expecting to medal or be any kind of thing like that. People are like, LOL, you could also be bilingual in 4 years. Yeah. Or
that would probably be the better bet.
Yes, of course. Anything you put, yes, you could do all of that. But that was the spirit of the question. So amazing. Impressed by the athletes. But I think that Gina Davis thing is the best example. I picked it up a couple years before. Did relatively well. Also was a good archer was Reggie Theus.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of one of his other hobbies out there.
Oh, you know who else is very good is Bo Jackson.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
But he does it with his legs.
He shoots it with his legs.
Yes.
Is that factual?
I think I remember him doing it. I want to say it was something to do as an exercise for his
I'm looking this up.
It was like an exercise for his hip.
And what comes up? Bo Jackson archery feat. Let me see. Well, here's him doing it regularly, but let's see. Are you finding anything yet that? All right, Bo Jackson archery. Let me go back to that other one.
Bo Jackson could shoot a bullseye from 100 yards with a bow and arrow using his feet.
Incredible. Wait, here's a video of it. Let me see if I can find it really fast. Bo Jackson archery feat. That's not the right one. All right. Well, good memory. Good pull on that one. Literally, ironically, good pull. All right. Break time for us. When we return, all right, the NBA offseason is continuing. What is going on with Lauri Markkanen? Is he going to be dealt? Is he not? What should happen there? And the Jazz are on a timeline with him. We'll discuss that and some possibilities for Markkanen when we come back.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. Savings. Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebate. $12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price. Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available in special financing. We see some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 73124.
Made a great deal at Maida. If you've been on the American River, it's uphill, it's downhill. There's trails everywhere that you can walk, and it just makes you happy. And I couldn't walk, and it was terrible. I was turning into a real crab. I went to the Good Feet store, and I tried on the arch supports. I could not believe that I was not in pain. I can walk, I can run, I can jump, I can do anything. My name's Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, A's lefty Hogan Harris spent the first 5 seasons in the organization dealing with injuries and threw less than 200 innings during that time, but now his promise is coming to fruition. In the first game of the Astros series at home, Harris, making his 9th start this year, blanked the Astros over 6 2/3 and lowered his ERA down to 2.98.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver that includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
There was always a crowd gathered around our dining table when I was growing up. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Everyone was welcome at my mother's table, so holidays, birthdays, and celebrations always included family and friends. I used to think I was the most popular kid in the neighborhood until I realized that my friends were really there for my mother's incredible cooking. Years later, when I bought my own dining table from Naturewood, I made sure it was large enough to make friends feel welcome. And right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings Dine in Style sale, you have an opportunity to find the perfect dining room furniture to help you create your own treasured memories. Choose from casual to formal or anything in between. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings during the Dine in Style sale off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
We're about 30 minutes away from being joined by Matt Barrows from The Athletic. Covers the 49ers. Done a great job of that. Let's get the latest of what's going on at camp. Also the holdouts or hold-ins, whatever we're calling them these days with, well, certainly the hold-in with Brandon Ayuk, the hold-out with Trent Williams, the future for Brock Purdy, how he's looked so far. I mean, the payday that's coming his way is going to be an interesting one too, but not front and center on the 49ers' mind, but they got to be aware of that when they're working out all these contracts. So that's coming up at 8. Also about an hour from now, we'll check in with KCRA's Michelle Daps will join us, and we'll get the kind of the lay of the land of what we should be doing when we're following the Olympics here as far as NorCal sports heroes. So who we should be following and also what to expect with the Olympic coverage here locally on NBC. All right, so we continue here on Sacktown Sports. Good participation for people on our YouTube and our text line about what Olympic sport do you think if you had 4 years to train for, could you do the best in competition? Again, we don't expect anybody to win. There's another one for race walking. Chris gave us the warning about the lifetime on the hips, how that would hurt. I had mentioned, was there any possibility about crew or rowing? They're like, no chance. Some have mentioned that, how difficult and taxing that could be. Again, I'm going to go back to sailing. You say no chance, Chris? Again, you're talking about the money part. I'm just like, if someone lets me train for 4 years,
Well, then I guess maybe. But you're the guy like pulling the sail and lifting it up and lifting it
whatever
down.
the least requirement of the job is probably where they'd have to. Someone put shot put, no chance. I mean, all these things. If you gave us 4 years to work on the shot put, I'd be better. I don't think I'd be very good though.
Like, look at a shot putter; they're monsters.
Yeah, I mean. Maybe we should do that. We should have the Sacktown Sports Olympics and just see how pathetic we are. Yikes. All right, so the NBA offseason, is there really an offseason anymore? What's a timeline, though, that's coming up that I don't know. It felt like when the Kings were in the rumor mill for, at one point, Zach LaVine, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, then Lauri Markkanen came up, and then there was some rumblings about DeMar DeRozan. Of course, we now know they've landed DeMar DeRozan. Now, can the Kings still be involved in any of those other things? I just don't think they will be. I wouldn't say there's no chance, but probably not. Probably not at this point. One roster spot available. I think when you looked at all the players, if we listed them as the five between, let's go back to it, Ingram, DeRozan, Markkanen, Kuzma, and LaVine, I felt like they all had, I wouldn't even say negatives, but some reasons why you shouldn't do it, and plenty of reasons why you should for any of them. Now, for a guy like LaVine, it was injury history and contract. Markkanen, it was contract because he's in the final year. For some, that can appeal, but if you're going to make a trade where you're likely giving up a bunch of assets, you have to re-sign that player, in my mind. Is that the area the Kings wanted to go? I thought fit with Markkanen made a lot of sense. Ingram, to me, made a lot of sense as far as fit, but also final year of a contract. Is that someone you want to go forward with? DeRozan, I've been liking for years. I'm like, man, that'd be a perfect guy for the Kings. Now it was what was going to cost. I just didn't think they were going to be able to get him. And to me, honestly, it cost them less than I thought it would. So I love that deal. And who's the other player missing? Oh, Kuzma. I think the thought of Kuzma made a lot of sense too. His contract was a plus. I thought it would maybe be less to give up to get him. And why I was warming up to him a little bit more is that the Kings could have then done a few more things. But landing DeRozan, I think, was a good thing. Markkanen, like I said earlier, would have made some sense. But there's still some teams that are looking at Markkanen. And the Jazz now have 11 days left until he can sign a contract extension with Utah for multiple years. And so you start to think, what are the options? What are the possibilities? And I think Utah is playing it out this exact way. I think probably Danny Ainge knows he's in a win-win situation. He's always been a GM that tends to get more for his players than maybe others do. So Markkanen is someone that is coveted. He knows that. I think he would like to keep Markkanen if everything goes right. So unless he doesn't get the deal he wants, they can wait out these 11 days, work on a contract extension with Markkanen, and keep a young, talented big man on their roster and go forward with him and still trade him later if you want to. So I think Ainge is in a good position. You still have some of the teams that have been out there rumored for Markkanen, still out there rumored for Markkanen. The one that seems to me to have the most pressure to do it is the Golden State Warriors. And if you're the Warriors, you've got a good team. They're good. I don't think they're great. I think they're good. And I said this yesterday on a crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. I said it on this show. I said it. I'll say it again probably enough times where you go, okay, you said that already. But I firmly believe in that if everything goes right kind of list for the Western Conference teams, I would put the Warriors in that list of if everything went right, I think they could have a really good year. I do. I think they could be a threat in the West. Now, is that getting out of the West? I don't think so. But a threat to have a top 4 finish next year? Absolutely. I think that's possible. I mean, the Warriors won. We all look at, they were the 10th seed. They won 46 games. 46. And they were 10th. So switch out any of their things that didn't quite go their way last year. And could they have had 4 more wins to get them to 50? Absolutely. I'm just asking for 4 for them. Very doable. And how would that have been different? Well, Draymond played 52 games. Started 52 games. If he plays 65, I'm not saying that all of them, plays 65. Could they have won 4 more games? I would bet, yeah. again, I'm not stretching here, I don't think, too far on this team. While you still have Curry, they're going to have to figure out what's different with them being without Klay Thompson, but you still have some young pieces that kind of developed under them, and Trace Jackson Davis and Podziemski, and Kuminga's a piece they seem to like. They'll have to replace Chris Paul. But, they've done it with a couple of additions. Melton's a nice feature for them. Kyle Anderson. They've kind of picked up some of the pieces. They'll be a little different. Will it be better? The problem with the Warriors, to me, is I don't think of them as a championship team. I think of them as, again, if everything went right, could be a good team in the West. You still have Steph Curry. He's still playing at a great level. You're not in the spot where you want to trade Steph, or should. If he wants to retire a Warrior, then I think that's every intention that they have. But you also don't want to miss opportunities to make a run at another title. So I think they're under more pressure to find a way to try to get Lauri Markkanen. And Markkanen would make them better. But what do they have to give up to do it? And there's talk about maybe the Jazz would want Podziemski. They would want Kuminga. I'm sure a ton of first-round picks. If you're the Warriors and you're Mike Dunleavy Jr., you really have to think about that. Does that make the most sense for our franchise? How much are we going to have to give up to maybe put ourselves back in that conversation of this team can win a title? They've got championship experience. They know how to do it. They've got a coach that knows how to do it. They've got enough players on the team that have done it and know how to do it. That, again, back to if things fall in place, everything goes right, they have good years, could they make a run? Certainly with Markkanen. I think they have to kind of push more that way because they're closer to being that kind of team than a team that needs to rebuild. And those are tough spots to be in. I think they're trying to thread the needle. Remember a couple years ago when the light years ahead and we got 2 timelines? That didn't pan out. They have some good young players. I don't know that they got franchise all-star players at the moment. Now, somehow they could develop into that. But, it was pretty early on when we were talking about the Splash Brothers and what they could become, and they did become that. So I would say if any team is in the Markkanen sweepstakes, it should be the Warriors. They should try to do what they can to figure out a way to get him and see if they can handle the pain that Danny Ainge is going to hammer down on them because he's going to ask for the world. So I think they're the team with the most pressure to make it happen. Jazz, again, have this 11-day window here before they can now negotiate with Markkanen and give him the long-term contract. So I think the Jazz are in the best spot. Keep taking offers. Keep pushing the envelope, seeing how much they can get from these teams that are interested. And if not, just retain your guy. Sign him to a long-term deal and go forward and start your building as the Utah Jazz. All right, when we return, the Major League Baseball trade deadline is coming up. I've got what the Giants should do. I don't think they're going to do it, but I think this is what they should do. I'll explain that coming up on Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
New fuel-efficient Toyota. Let's go!
Hit the open California road this summer with incredible MPG and peace of mind. With fewer fill-ups, you can explore further and make the most of those long summer days. Choose from Toyota's 16 hybrid and electrified models, more than any other brand, and go the distance with Toyota's class-leading fuel efficiency and reliability. It's time to make this summer one to remember. Toyota, let's go places.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley's coming to town. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends. Harmony, Tyler Rich, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by The Scoundrel Red Wine, Naturewood Home Furnishings, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento summertime heat is back. And of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I know we are at that point where we've got a pretty divided world, sadly. I know that's just the reality of things, but I'm just looking at some video, Chris, of on Twitter or on X. I guess I'm still not used to calling it X, of Snoop Dogg carrying the Olympic torch. Man, is that guy living his best life. And I feel like everybody likes Snoop Dogg. I don't know. He's just kind of become that guy over the years. Like, he's just like when he's added to shows, like, yeah, it's good. It's better.
Oh, was it him on Wheel of Fortune when he kept getting the guesses wrong? That was incredible.
But just charming and appealing and likable.
I remember his show that really, I saw like the other side of Snoop was he had an like reality show.
Mm-hmm.
It was just him and his family type of thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, you just see him with his family and stuff. And he's like being a dad and taking his kids to things and everything like that. And at the end of the series, like, so that's it. That's what being like life living with me is like. And so glad I could introduce you to me, my family, and hope you have a better idea about me. And then he's like, now I just need to get rid of those weapon structures.
Oh, by the way. But yeah, I've seen stuff on him and like, you know, when he was coaching football and just, I don't know. It just, and that whole relationship he had with Martha Stewart always seemed kind of funny, but like
used to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
I think they're selling lighters together, or they're doing an advertising for lighters.
They are.
But and ironically, Martha has done more time than Snoop.
That is true. That is true. But watching him again carrying that Olympic torch, that would actually be a really cool honor too, to do that. Not the lighting of the cauldron like tonight for the Olympic ceremony, or even carrying the flag, but like to carry the torch, that would be a really, really cool.
The weird thing is, it's usually someone that lives in that country, isn't it? Always like someone that's from the country
that lights the cauldron.
No, that like carries the torch.
Well, at some point, yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of different, like, you know, I remember when it was in the U.S., like it was when it was in L.A. in like '84. Wasn't it like traveling across the U.S.?
Yeah, they've done that for everyone.
Yeah, so
because I remember them coming through for like the '96 Olympics to where we went out to like, oh, it's going to come through downtown, and my parents took me to go and see that.
Do you remember who the torch bearer was?
Just some guy.
Oh, some guy. There's that guy.
And then it was again in Salt Lake City, like my family and I, there's like probably about 15, 20 of us out to dinner at Caballo Blanco in South Sac. And someone's like, hey, is the torch coming by here right now? So we went outside and like, oh,
hey, hello, torch. Goodbye, torch. We got Major League Baseball's trade deadline coming up. There was a deal made overnight last night where the Rays dealt Randy Arozarena, former Rookie of the Year, to the Seattle Mariners. Kind of a sneaky move there by the Mariners, and we'll watch what other moves happen. I think for a lot of people out here, somewhat locally, we'll say with the Giants and the A's, I've been talking about Mason Miller over the last day or two with the A's, and now with the injury, we'll see if that becomes a little bit more difficult. But this is what I think the San Francisco Giants should do. I do not think the San Francisco Giants will do this. I just think, one, they're in a situation where they have Farhan Zahidi, who is in a spot where I think his job is on the line. I really do. And if your job is on the line, even if the right thing may be to be a seller, they've traditionally been buyers. This is a proud organization. This is an organization that I'm not saying is hanging on to those World Series from 10, 12, and 14. They should be proud of that, and they should be. Those are amazing achievements. This team isn't that. And I don't know that they ever fully tore it down, or maybe didn't even necessarily have to at that time, because just a couple years ago, they snuck in that just incredible 100-plus win season, the best season they'd ever had. And that didn't net them a World Series. But this team isn't that. There are some elements of promise, some, but not that much for the Giants. And I think the elements of promise really are the front three pitchers that they now can boast between Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, and Blake Snell. But even with that, and they haven't had that group very long, Robbie Ray's just pitched the one time and Snell's missed enough time. They're 49-55. Again, 6 games below 500, matching their season worst. They've been 6 games about 5 or 6 times now this season. They're in the wild card race-ish, but far enough out where it's going to take a lot of work. So I think being buyers is just a fool's errand. I mean, you want your teams to be aggressive. You want to commit to your fan base, commit to your current players, show them that you're trying to compete. I think that's always a generally healthy concept, right idea in principle. In this case, I don't think it's smart. I just don't think they're a player or two away that you get the right bat in the lineup that just jolts everybody, and here comes this amazing run. Is it possible? Sure. But finding that, I think, is like trying to find that lottery ticket. Like, look, you all want to win it. You all dream about it, but the odds are very low. So what I think the Giants should do, but won't, in my opinion, and I could be wrong on this, but this is what I think they should do. I think they should be so active in selling. And they don't have to gut all of this, but they do have players that can net them a return. I mean, Robbie Ray's comeback appearance the other day was very impressive. Everybody wants pitching. So who wouldn't want a Cy Young Award winner who's now pitched once, who's already done all the rehab, and you could get the benefit of, the back end of the season and maybe about, what would that be, 6, 7, 8 quality starts and maybe a postseason appearance? So I would look at someone like Robbie Ray. I would look at 2-time Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell. Right? You just kind of signed him. He was late to get into the Giants. I don't know that he's a big part of their future. You could get a nice return for Blake Snell. So I'm looking at Snell and Ray as pitchers. They can move. You could even move Duvall at the back end of the bullpen. People always want bullpen help. As far as bats go, Matt Chapman's been a good player for multiple teams, and he's had moments with the Giants, not having an amazing year. I mean, no one with the bat really is. But Chapman is someone you could move. Wilmer Flores, probably his worst year of his run, 4 or 5 years now with the Giants. But he's someone that, he's been a fan favorite and a kind of a clubhouse guy, but a utility, versatile, reliable hitter, could help a lot of teams. Michael Conforto is in the final year of his 2-year deal, has been battling injuries for 2 years, but it's been a pretty good bat in this league, could help some teams. Yastrzemski, we think of him as a giant, but I mean, he's now been around for a while. He's a guy that I think could get something in return. And so if you start to put that list together of Duvall, Ray, Snell, Chapman, Flores, Conforto, Yastrzemski, maybe even Soler, like there are some people that you could move, and I think they could turn this pretty quickly. Now, they don't have to move all of that. You can be super aggressive and do a bunch of moves, but I mean, if you do a couple of things, you might still be achieving both goals where you've retooled, reshaped, gotten some youth, kind of redirected some contracts. Maybe you even find a way to thread the needle to make a wild card run too, though I would feel like that's less imperative as far as getting yourself in a better financial situation, getting yourself in a better talent overall situation, whether that's farm system or current roster. Because I look at the Giants, and again, the best case scenario is they get to a series and those three pitchers are dealing. They would become a problem. If Webb, Snell, and Ray have tremendous outings, they could beat a lot of teams. That's the pie in the sky best case scenario for the Giants. I think to dream that way is a good thing, but I feel like it's more of a dream. And they're farther away from that opportunity. They're going to have to scratch and claw just to be a wild card team. And there's no promises there. So I would look to be the aggressor. I would look to be the seller. I just don't know that the Giants are going to admit that and do that. So that's what I would do, but I just don't think they will. All right, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, busy hour ahead, we will get to who's hot, who's not. We will have another edition of Let's Go Streaking. We also will check in with Michelle Dapper from KCRA Channel 3, sports anchor and reporter there. Get the latest from Daps on the Olympics and who the locals to follow. But when we come back, let's check in with the San Francisco 49ers, the guy that covers the beat for The Athletic, Matt Barrows. Some Niners camp talk. What's going on with Ayuk and Williams and the 49ers? That straight ahead on Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is finally Friday. We're looking at mostly sunny skies and temperatures not as hot for the afternoon. After a pleasant morning, we'll see daytime highs in the lower to mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Your water heater, old, rusty, forgotten, we hardly ever even think about them until there's no hot water. Right now, get incredible rebates up to $3,000 off and financing available for as little as $40 a month. Leave it to Bonnie to crank up the heat.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
I'm a very active person that likes to move around and go. The pain I was in was really excruciating. It was actually debilitating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle. I had really tried everything, but I quickly lost hope with all of the things that we had tried, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what you doing for Chrysler's Make This the Summer sales event?
Well, this month we have something special that only happens once a year. Big savings on one of America's most capable minivans. Right now you can save up to $17,000 off MSRP on all remaining 23 Chrysler Pacifica hybrids, and that's on all trims.
Now, you said Chrysler Pacifica hybrids. Those things get 82 miles per gallon E with gas prices so high and 17 $17,000 off MSRP. That's a no-brainer.
And a deal like this only happens once a year. So this is the time to take advantage of this savings at the dealership and at the pump.
The savings won't last long. Stop by Hoblet Dodge for a test drive today or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
17,000 total net savings after 7,500 factory rebates and 9,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 7,500 federal EV tax credit offered by a third party and subject to change. Consult a tax professional for details and eligibility. 82 MPGE combined city highway rating based on fueleconomy.gov EPA rating. Send this net savings while supplies last. See dealer for details.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, show rolls along here on this Friday. Jason Ross, Chris Lloyd, Carmichael Dave on vacation. He'll be back with us as we go along here in the summertime. But also, we are getting so close to the beginning of the NFL season. Camps have opened, and we want to get the very latest of what's going on in San Francisco. We check it with our guy, Matt Barrows, joining us this morning. Matt, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're great. We appreciate you joining us. Off seasons kind of come and go there quickly. You're not a holdout or a hold in at this point, are you? Are you good? Are you working and everything's still normal for you?
Oh yeah, 100% healthy from toes to top of head. I'm looking good this summer.
Well, you have had this rinse and repeat talking about holdouts, or in this case, we'll kind of go one by one. We'll start with Ayuk, I guess, we're calling this the hold in. He's there. He's not practicing, but he seems very much present. How would you describe Brandon Ayuk's hold in at this point?
Yeah, I mean, the body language is good, and it reminds me of Deebo Samuel's contract issue from 2 years ago. Remember how bad that got in the spring of that year. He's demanding a trade, didn't want to be used as a running back, this and that. And then the mandatory June minicamp rolled around, and he showed up for that. And the body language was good. He was throwing a football back and forth with Kyle Shanahan's son on a side field. He was, mixing it up with his teammates. That's the vibe I'm getting from Brandon Ayuk. I mean, he spent half of practice yesterday just standing next to John Lynch, who always kind of stands back in the middle of the field like a safety does. The guys were talking about that perspective, obviously, the whole time. And then he spent the rest of the practice next to Talanoa Hufanga, basically doing the same thing. So getting sort of a safety's view of practice while he's there. So the bottom line is that he's not practicing. He's not happy about his contract situation, but he's doing everything else, and he's hanging out with the guys. And I can only imagine that vibe is positive and only will be helpful toward getting this done in the long run.
It has seemed, by what I've heard and what you guys and others have reported, that the Niners want him. Obviously, very engaging at practice, throwing and being around key personnel. So where's the divide? Obviously, he wants more money, but do you have any idea of how close they are in negotiations?
I have an idea. It's a guess. They've made an offer of around $26 million a year. The Amon-Ra St. Brown deal in Detroit is for $30 million a year. It's a 4-year deal worth $30 million a year. It's actually a 3-year deal worth $28 million. So it's sort of in that range, 28 to 30, depending on how long the contract goes. And then, of course, you've got the kind of outlier contract, which is Justin Jefferson's, which is $35 million. So, I mean, if it were me, I'd say, hey, if we offer you the St. Brown contract, will you sign it? And my guess is that gets you real close, because that would seem to be where it should be. I mean, I think you guys would agree that's about where you would have Brandon Ayuk. I mean, he's not the best receiver in the league. He's probably in the top 10. He's around where St. Brown is. I mean, St. Brown might be a little bit more important to his team today, but the whole idea with Ayuk is that he's going to be the guy in the future. He's going to be the guy. He's going to be Brock Purdy's favorite target moving forward. They're both going to kind of mature together on this team. His importance is only going to grow. So you sort of take account of that with this contract right now.
At what point would fans and maybe even the Niners get uncomfortable? Because right now, I mean, again, he's not practicing, but it seems like everything's on friendly terms. So we're close, but they haven't, pen to paper and that nothing's finalized. When should people get a little bit more nervous? And what's that timeline?
Yeah, I mean, if we get to mid-August and he's still not signed, I think that's a real kind of nervousness situation, because last year you had a player, Nick Bosa, who gets as prepared as anybody, and even more so, it's his position. There was an understanding that he didn't need a whole lot of runway to get ready for the season. Receiver is a different position. I mean, there's the chemistry you need to have with your quarterback, first of all, but they're running all the time. Nobody runs as much as the receiver group does. And, pure conditioning, you start to doubt whether he can get in the necessary shape. He played a lot of snaps in 22, played a lot in 2023. He was one of the best conditioned guys on the team those 2 years. And I remember his spring last year was standout. You knew he was going to have a big season just from what he did in May and June. He was out there for every practice. He was building the conditioning that I was just talking about. So he didn't have that already this year. So that's absent. Some of training camp is going to be absent. Very hard to see him duplicating his 2023 season already. The further we go into training camp, that doubt only grows.
Talking with Matt Barrows here from The Athletic. Matt, one more thought on Ayuk. What I've been saying is, look, there was the trade demand. How serious is that? We don't know. I mean, he's obviously playing nice right now. But I thought there were a couple of weird, I don't know any other way to say it, or cryptic things that he had done in the offseason. Like, hey, he had that thing with Jalen Daniels. Like, hey, they don't even want me. Just there's been a bit of odd things. How much should we read into kind of some of that's gone on maybe via social media and some other things from Ayuk?
Yeah, I again go back to the Deebo Samuel thing, and using social media to sort of be the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. And a lot of the stuff that was coming out from Samuel in the spring didn't, after the deal was signed, it didn't exist. I like being a running back. I like the running back carries that I get. All that stuff was made up. So, I mean, I can only imagine that this is the world of negotiation. And as you said, it's weird. It's through the looking glass stuff. I thought you guys got along great. I mean, I was very kind of surprised and disappointed with the Samuel thing in 22, because remember, his 21 season was phenomenal. He was the guy. He was their offense. Everything was great. And then all of a sudden it wasn't, because he was trying to negotiate for more money. So, my take is that this is sort of a version of that, and that once this deal gets signed, it's going to be all good. I don't know whether you heard this quote, but George Kittle relayed a Richard Sherman quote about contract negotiations the other day, which was, contract negotiations are like braces. Mm-hmm. They suck when they're on, but once they're off, you forget you even had them. So I kind of think that that's going to be the case here. The only question is when do those braces come off? Yeah, well, that leads us to, when you put premium and value, look, Brandon Ayuk means a lot to this team, but Trent Williams, now we're talking about a different animal, different set of braces, I guess we're talking about here. What about this? Now, this is a holdout, and this is a guy that, the Niners can't afford to not have on the field. What are we looking at here with Trent Williams? I mean, this could, as strange as it sounds, this could actually turn out to be something good for the 49ers because, the whole narrative surrounding Trent Williams is he's 36 years old. He seems to have a right ankle issue every year. That's the sort of inside ankle for him, the one that sort of is in the meat grinder of the line of scrimmage all the time. How much longer can they expect to have him? Doing a deal right now with him would at least give you a little bit of sense of what he's thinking and what's possible, and give him some incentive to play maybe more than one more season. So there's that, and you could also carve out more salary cap space this year if you redo the end of his deal, and then any space that you have right now will carry over to next year. So I liken this more to the Christian McCaffrey situation earlier this year, just getting him more in line with what the market currently is for his position. And I liken it more to the Bosa situation from last year as far as does he really need to be on the field right now, just given his position, his veteran status, how quickly he can get ready. I'm sure he wants to get some training camp in. I'm sure he's not going to feel as if he's 100% Trent Williams if he comes in on the Thursday before the season starts, which was the case for Bosa last year. So, again, I mean, I don't anticipate this going long, but, gee, the 49ers knew what was up back in the spring with this, and it's still not done. So, that's probably not a great sign that they couldn't get it done for the start of training camp. They would argue that, it takes two to tango. It may be that Trent Williams isn't all that eager to be out there with a guardian cap on his head for 2-hour practices where it's 95 degrees in Santa Clara. So that may be part of it as well.
I know these go along everywhere. There's holdouts in every team, basically. But, Matt, it feels like this has happened quite a bit, like a consecutive amount of years. Is this a Niner issue or just happens to be they got a lot of good players that probably deserve more money?
I mean, I think it's mostly the latter. All these deals seem to get done right before the deadline or right after the deadline, or at least they did. Nowadays, the deals are happening well after the deadline. Deebo Samuel's contract, I don't think was signed until August 1. We know what happened with Bosa last year, and now we've got two others. So that deadline is starting to become, I mean, and I do think that there's sort of a precedent here too. I mean, remember last year, all the rhetoric coming from the 49ers that, Nick Bosa doesn't need to be here. We're definitely not going to trade him. He's so important to this team. We're going to forgive all of the fines that he accumulates. The other agents read that. They see that. And, that becomes part of the rhetoric. That becomes part of the fabric of these negotiations. So they sort of made this bed themselves. And now they're having to sleep in it.
How much does John Lynch also have to build the overall puzzle, knowing that other big contract is coming likely for Purdy next year? So, putting all these pieces together, how difficult is knowing that you've got that other big financial boom coming later?
I mean, it's huge. It's everything. It's the backdrop to all these discussions that they're having. And it doesn't get any easier. I think people will be impressed this year by the quality of the 49ers cornerback play. That's been a position that really, I go back to Mike Rumpf was the last first rounder taken at that spot way back in the day. And, it's not been a great position largely over that last quarter of a century we're talking about. This year, it's different. I mean, you've got Charvarius Ward, top 5, top 3 cornerback in the league. You've got an ascending Diamador Lenore. You've got way more depth than you had last year. But in the offseason, both Lenore and Ward are going to be unrestricted free agents. So is Dre Greenlaw. So is Talanoa Hufanga. So is Aaron Banks. So there's a lot to do on the to-do list for next season, with the backdrop that Brock Purdy, if he has another season like he had in 23, is going to be asking for a lot of money. We're talking record-breaking money in March. So, I mean, that's sort of the table being set for the season and what they have to do as far as their salary cap.
How has Purdy looked? I know that you guys just started down there, but there's some talk about maybe some added weight, a little more zip on the football. How has Purdy looked so far?
He looked good. I mean, the command is there. He's having a hard time with the defensive line. This is very much Trent Williams related. But you know, he's able to handle it. He's able to spin out of trouble and find open receivers. He's looked good. I mean, it's the offense that's addled right now. No Ayuk, no Ricky Pearsall, no Trent Williams, and they've been at least holding their own against sort of a rebuilt defensive line, against Fred Warner, against those cornerbacks that I was just describing. So far, so good for Brock Purdy.
I want to ask you about Pearsall. I know you said he's not there yet and haven't seen him, but how do you think he will be utilized? Because assuming they keep Ayuk and have Debo and Kittle and McCaffrey and even Jennings, and I mean, it's a really good offense already. How do you envision, if things are all right and people are healthy, Pearsall mixing in?
Yeah, I think he'll be Ayuk's backup. So, you know, whenever Ayuk comes off the field, and you know, like I said earlier, that could be a lot early in the season while he's sort of getting up to pace. I don't know how many weeks that would take, 2, 3. So he would be the understudy for Ayuk, I would think. And then, you know, one of these other guys would be the Debo Samuel understudy. I would imagine it's the other rookie, Jacob Cowing, who sort of does a lot of end-around stuff. He's sort of a smaller version. He's like Ray McLeod last year. He's faster than McLeod. So that's how I would think they would be used. You know, sort of the big question mark is on special teams, who's going to be the return man this year? It's funny. We're there every day, and they seem to do punt and punt return practice every day, but they're not revealing to the media, at least, how they're going to be handling these new kickoff rules. So I had no idea who the leader is, who they think should be the kick return guy. But I think when Pearsall comes back, he at least will be worked into the mix at both punt returner and kick returner, just to see. I'm not saying that he's going to be the guy, but I think he's going to be one of the guys who at least get some reps at that position.
Well, some really good stuff from you, Matt Barrows. We appreciate it. We encourage everybody to check out your work every day at The Athletic. We know you got stuff on the hold-in, the holdouts going on at camp there. We always enjoy talking to you, Matt. We look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Thanks, Jason. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you. That is Matt Barrows from The Athletic. I don't hear a sense of concern or panic from him on that. We'll come back. We'll kind of pick up the pieces and clean up some of the stuff that we were talking about, go over some of those fine points, including some encouraging thing on. I really hadn't thought about that, but yeah, the corner play should be better. That had been an area of weakness for the team. But boy, Trent Williams has to be there. Ayuk, I think, is important to this team. And if it's all there, why wouldn't there be another long run, all hoping that, Brock Purdy keeps rolling along the way he has. So we'll come back, react to the conversation with Matt Barrows and more straight ahead on Sacktown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
Going deep down the sideline for Ayuk. He's got it, and he's gone. 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Ayuk is on fire!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Hello, I'm Frank Copper with the Retirement Security Centers of the Weekly Economic Update. Stubborn and growing. This doesn't refer to your teenagers at home, but our resilient economy that keeps defying expectations. The S&P Global Flash U.S. Composite PMI, which is an aggregate picture of activity in both the services and manufacturing sectors, grew at its fastest pace in 27 months. There was an additional surprise in the form of lower price increases. Moderate inflation and growing economic readings could lead the Fed to lower rates in September to try to keep the economy moving forward. Services continue to lead the growth while manufacturing contracted. Some of the manufacturing production decline may be attributed to staffing shortages, so these reductions could be temporary. The current 2.8% annualized rate of growth in the second quarter surprised on the upside. While unemployment edged up to 4.1% in June, people are falling behind on their loan payments, and pandemic cash reserves have mostly been spent down, so this level of consumer spending may not be sustainable. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic FA Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Osaic FA is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic FA.
Carmichael Dave. He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Our thanks again to Matt Barrows for joining us. Totally dialed into the 49ers from The Athletic. Michelle Dapper to join us in about 10 minutes or so. Get the latest on the Olympics, which are underway. Opening ceremonies are officially tonight. And then who are the locals to watch from our area? We'll check in with Daps at the bottom of the hour. I say Matt Barrows is a great follow on Twitter. Certainly his work on The Athletic is just amazing. Did many great years at the Bee. He's so dialed in on this team. Want to react to some of the things he said. I was actually looking at some of the things he had posted, and the one thing of all things is kind of the way all of us work because we can relate to different things. I mean, he's got all this stuff on the 49ers, contracts, who's at practice, pictures, all this stuff. But the tweet that I saw that was catching my attention was he was responding to the New York Times article that put out Southwest Airlines will start assigning seats to passengers, ending its trademark policy. And I fly Southwest quite a bit. Still don't understand quite how the system works, where if you got 24 hours to check in, and if you're like me, you're like, wait for the second for it's like if your flight's at 8:15 and the next day and it's 8:15, you hit, check in, and then you find out you're B12. Like, I know there's people that buy the A1 through 15, but if you're at the second, how are you, not an A seat? But whatever. But his point was about the assigned seating. I like choosing which passenger I sit next to, and more importantly, which one to avoid. I'm looking at you, coughing, broad-shouldered, armrest bully in 11A. Yeah, that'll be weird. I think that's actually a strength of Southwest that you could pick your seat. I like to
go by quicker too.
I think so. And there still is inevitably, which, I mean, again, I was talking about this earlier in the week, Chris, doing my travels last week, but like there were a couple people that got on the Southwest flight and, they might have been A22, like their boarding pass or whatever it would be, B20. And they're looking like, where's B22? No, that's your order to get on the plane. These are empty seats, wherever you want to sit. But I like that.
Are you on goofball pills or something?
What I don't like is some of the airlines, like the rates are lower. Then you look, wait, I have to pay for my seat? Now I have to get this seat. I'm like on the plane, but like if you want a better seat or a little more leg room, not first class, but it's like, what are we doing here?
The only way that the ticket price is if you have no luggage.
Right.
Don't have any food, water, anything.
It's Southwest, basically, is what I think kind of what they have done. Now you could pay for the A1 through 15. Now, what they haven't said is when this open seating is going to be done, but I think they have done their research. That's what I read about, and they think this will be more productive and lucrative for them. Again, that's how money works. That's the way the world works. But they said they will still have some areas where maybe people can pay for better seats. I don't know what a better seat is on Southwest. I mean, at this point, there isn't first class. They're all basically the same seat. There is the one seat that a lot of people try to get, and Dave and I have talked about that on the show. It's like, I get it. If there's someone 6'3", 4 or over, they should probably get that empty seat legroom on the exit row. But I've seen 5'8" guy do that. I'm like, come on. Let's be fair here. All right. Anyway, let's clean up some of the stuff. Not even clean up. I thought that was really good information coming from Matt Barrows. And he didn't sound very worried at all about Brandon Ayuk. And I think based on, and I actually saw some of the video and pictures of, Emil's been down there, Nate's been down there, our guys, and even other local media down at 49ers practice. where you see Brandon Ayuk clearly out there, doesn't look to be at the moment a guy that's disgruntled. Maybe it's just trying to find that exact sweet spot of the contract. And look, they want him. I guess it seems like he wants to be with the 49ers. And if they're getting closer to some of those other elite receiver contracts, they'll probably get him and land him. But they have to get Trent Williams. I mean, they have to. He's too valuable to this team, too important to their current season, their immediate future. And then all of this is wrapped around the backdrop, as Matt so perfectly put, of landing Brock Purdy after this season into what kind of contract to then pay him. But they've been able to keep all these other guys and pay them well while Purdy is on the cheap. But that won't be lasting very long. That's something to keep your eye on. So, again, thank you to Matt Barrows. If you ever miss anything on the show and you heard us that we talked to Sam Amick or coming up Michelle Dapper or in the past, Kelly Brothers, whoever it might be, any guests we've ever had, you can always go back or content to sacktownsports.com and our YouTube page and listen back to the show. We have it all podcasted there for you. So speaking of Michelle Dapper, the Olympics are here. Who are the local stars to watch, to root for? A lot of the Olympics to me is about the stories and the storytelling and pull at the heartstrings, what they've had to go through to get to where they are and the dreams they're chasing. We'll learn about some of that with Michelle Dapper from KCRA Channel 3, their sports anchor and reporter. Friend of the show, Michelle Dapper, joins us to talk Olympics next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Hey, get ready to rock, groove, and have a blast with the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. We've got an unbeatable lineup of shows that you won't want to miss. It's Brett Young and Chase Rice at Thunder Valley on August 3rd. Plus, Jason Mraz and the Super Band will be rocking Thunder Valley on August 9th. Then head out of the heat to higher elevation for the Truckee Music Festival on August 9th and 10th, featuring Kip Moore and Sublime. And here's your Live Nation lineup. On August 4th, don't miss the Outlaw Music Festival at Toyota Amphitheater featuring Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. On August 15th, catch Donnie Osmond at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Then on August 22nd, Creed Fisher takes the stage at Ace of Spades. And on September 10th, enjoy the timeless sounds of the Doobie Brothers at Toyota Amphitheater. Rounding out this rockin' lineup is the Lodi Grape Festival from September 12th through the 15th, featuring Joe Nichols and Smash Mouth. For information and tickets, visit grapefestival.com. And then stay tuned to Sacktown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley's coming to town. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends. Farmerly, Tyler Rich, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by The Scoundrel Red Wine, Naturewood Home Furnishings, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Summer is finally here, and so are all the best deals on DeWalt Power Tools at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. Drills, impacts, circular saws, you name it, we have it for the best price in town, guaranteed. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a seasoned tradesman, We've got all the DeWalt products you need to crush your next project. So come on down to Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet today on Power and Road for better tools and better prices. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento Summertime Heat is back. And, of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And, as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
The familiar theme of the Olympics. It is technically underway, but the opening ceremonies go today in Paris. And it will be seen on many channels, including KCRA Channel 3, right here locally. We'll find out a little bit more of who we should be rooting for, those storylines locally, as well as KCRA's Michelle Dapper joining us here.
Hi, Jason.
Yeah, hi, Michelle.
Good morning.
Look at that. You're displaying the Emmys in the background. I love that.
No. We'll move them. How about we move them?
No, you are. I didn't know you were an Emmy winner. Is it multiple? You have 2 Emmys?
I actually have 4.
4. I actually have 4.
She's only displaying half of them.
Yes. Yeah. So it's, you're not.
There you go.
Where are the others?
Downstairs.
Okay.
Not like in the front room or anything. No.
Yeah, they're in the trophy room.
Oh, they're in the other wing of the house.
of the Dapper estate.
Yeah, right. The other wing.
Well, Olympics is fun. It's a fun time of year. I know you had a chance to probably talk to some local people before they went out on their journey. There's many things to follow. First off, I think let's start with your coverage at KCRA. I know you guys kind of bounce around. I think Deirdre's out there. What's kind of the KCRA plan for your coverage?
So Deirdre's in Paris. Being a rock star out there. And then we're doing the Olympic zone. So we'll be out at Doco, right by Polanco. And we have like a big set. So if you're ever out there, just come say hi. But yeah, we'll be switching anchors. So like tonight, it's for opening ceremonies. It's Ty Steele and I will be out there.
Nice.
And then throughout the week, even Tamara Berg's getting involved in it. Edie, Andrea Flores, the whole big crew getting involved with kicking off these Olympics and for the next 3 weeks. So it's going to be a fun time.
I mean, to me, I've always enjoyed the Olympics. I had the privilege, I would say, way back in '84 as a youngster, but I had a chance to go to LA and watch. Got to go to a lot of it. It was incredible. Just absolutely loved it. And the pain and anguish and blood, sweat, and tears these athletes have to go through to chase this dream is amazing. Who are some of the people that you're going to keep your eye on locally that are going to do their best to medal?
I mean, in the pool, we got a couple. I mean, Luca Orlando went to McClatchy High School. Dart swimming out there in Davis, and I mean he's going to be stellar there in the pool. So keep an eye on him. The 200, he's coming off shoulder surgery. So I mean, just the grind that these athletes do to get this, and then you got to think about it. The thing with the Olympics too, it's like for that one moment, you train all of this time for that one moment, and then you just got to hope everything lines up in a place. Tonight we actually got Nyjah Houston, skateboarder out of Davis. He's going tonight. There's Chelsea Gray, we know Chelsea Gray. She's playing on the women's basketball team. Trey Lyles for Canada. Yeah. Isaiah Pinero, he's from Auburn, went to Placer High, and he's on the Puerto Rican basketball team. So gonna keep an eye on that. We got lots of locals. It's pretty cool to watch and to see these guys, excel at the sport that they love.
Well, and you've covered sports for so long, but to me, part of the charm too of the Olympics, yeah, sure. There's names like LeBron and basketball and stuff that we follow here as Kings fans or reporters and such. But like skateboarding that you brought up, and they breakdancing this year, and it's archery and canoeing, like just the grab bag of sports. I mean, to me, that's the appeal of the Olympic stuff we normally don't get to see.
And it's cool, like especially like the rowing. Like we got a hotbed right here, at Lake Natoma. So it's like there's a lot of these athletes have come through here at some point to train. Heck, even the men's 3x3 with Jimmer Fredette. I mean, that's an appeal for Kings fans to see what he can do. And does he go out on top with a gold medal? I mean, hey, that'd be kind of how can you not want to root for Jimmer?
Absolutely. And, that's the other part about this, whether you're like you, for example, you have been a Dodger fan, but like this, it's USA. Like, I think everybody comes together then. And it's like supporting the country becomes bigger than all the other divides that we have in our world today. I think that's one of the unifying things about the Olympics.
Yeah. And I mean, Simone Biles, I mean, the disappointment that she had in Tokyo, and then now she's coming back, and, we ran a story the other day about how, she was just so afraid that America was going to hate her. And in fact, America loves her even more because what she's done for the mental health of the sport. And it's a real thing, I mean, I just watched that Netflix documentary with her before, obviously, because I wanted to get in the Olympic spirit. But man, the struggle that these athletes go through, it's incredible that they do what they do at times,
And you would know better, Michelle, like ratings wise. I mean, it still feels like the biggest pillars of the Olympics. Is it still track, gymnastics, swimming? Are those the three primary one? I mean, people watch a lot of it, but is that the big
so
guns?
NBC did something different this year. They're actually usually they start with the pool, they start with the swimming. They're actually switching it up. They're going to start with the track.
Oh,
yeah, and then swimming's the second week.
Okay.
I mean, I think that I mean, this is all speculation, but I think the strategy behind that was, okay, let's draw them in, but then keep their eyes watching with the swimming. So maybe they start to tune out a little bit with the track because everyone wants to see the pool.
Right. What is your preference as far as a viewer?
I don't know. I swimming's always been like, I love the swimming, especially with Michael Phelps. I mean, that changed my world. But for me, like working in Eugene, my second TV job was in Eugene, and I just fell in love with track. Like it opened my eyes. Like, this is so positive and just contagious. So I don't know, like, and I was up at the Olympic trials last month in Eugene, and God, to see these athletes just work, it's so cool.
I'm trying to think of your timeline here because I know you've been in Sacramento now a while, but were you ever?
My 2014 was my first year here.
Okay, so I don't think the Olympic trials were still in Sac. I think it was before your time.
No, it's before my time, but I heard all about it.
Yes, but you've been to Sac State. I know you've been out there for football. So I guess my question
NCAAs. We've had NCAA regionals and the Western regional for NCAA, but not an Olympic one here since I've been here.
Yeah, so here's my question for you on that, because now you've been out there. And it's nice. It's a nice facility. Yeah. But in comparison, I was up at a graduation at Eugene this year, and I went by the state. I just could not believe that track facility. I mean, there's apologies to Sacramento, but there's no chance when you're competing against something like that.
None. I mean, it's Tracktown USA for a reason, and they put a stamp on that. And it was funny being up there, which, we're off topic, but a lot of the athletes love it, right? But then I think like the coaches on the other side, they're trying to get the trials away from Eugene, which they're like, we're kind of like traveling West Coast.
Oh,
but they want to think, Texas A&M, do they go somewhere on the other side? But it's like, gosh, the facility there, that it's bar none. It is the cream of the crop.
Absolutely. And so you mentioned names, besides the local people, you brought up Simone Biles. I'm sure Katie Ledecky is going to be a featured person. I mean, there's some legends that are.
Richardson, on the track, coming off a marijuana suspension, didn't get to compete last time, and now she's, gets to make her debut.
Yep.
Hey,
I blanked
fastest
on.
woman in the world. Let's see. Let's go.
I've blanked on her full name because her married name's Sydney. The tracks. I mean,
McLaughlin.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
Super. And then she just downsized to one event to focus on the one event.
Okay.
I think it's the 400-meter hurdles. So she's kind of like tailing back her schedule to then just go all out for that one.
We got to ask you, Michelle, this question that Chris and I had early in the show. So if you were given 4 years to train for one of these Olympic sports, we're not expecting anybody to win. I mean, we're not foolish going like, I could win the gold. There's no chance. But we're saying if you were given 4 years to compete in any of the Summer Olympic sports to train for it, what do you think you would have the best chance just to, represent yourself proudly in?
Well, I'm short, so.
Well, let me tell you our answer.
Gymnastics, but then again, I'm like too old for gymnastics.
Because we immediately eliminated, anything you're talking about, size, speed, strength. Like, it's just, okay, I could train for 4 years on weightlifting. I'd be better, but there's no chance. So we landed
trying to get athleticism off the table.
Yeah, exactly. We took the athleticism away. We went for
like air
shooting
rifle?
or archery.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Maybe like an air rifle. I could train really for an air rifle, or like, archery, something like, because I'm past my prime. I'm way past my prime.
Well, I know I am. And it just I marvel at these athletes. It's just how they can do it. And the fact that you brought up, like, you're chasing one thing and it's 4 years. I know there's other stuff in between and other, national competitions, but
right.
Man, it's all in one.
And you got to be healthy, and all these things have to line up. It's just it's incredible to just even fathom.
Yeah. And I'm guessing, look, all this is for you guys a business too. There's a reason you want the Olympics on NBC.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big thing. I mean, this is going to be big for you guys, isn't it? Another big ratings.
Absolutely. I mean, we're like locked in. It's Olympics all the time on KCRA right now.
Yeah.
We got late shows. We're on later at night. NBC Olympic coverage is all throughout the day. I think our newscasts have changed because it's like, I don't think we have a 4 o'clock once they start. So yeah, this is definitely our gold medal prize here.
So just
not to mention we got the NBA back too, though.
I know the NBA and NBC. That's gonna be huge for you guys in a year.
Hopefully get some Kings games.
Yes. How about how are you personally, as someone that covers sports, going to navigate just the time difference too? Like, I mean, look, we all have phones and we know what happened, but how active are you reporting live versus tape? Like that angle.
We know what's coming up on prime time, and we never give away those results because we've in the past where it's been like, we mentioned something, we'll get the phone call. Don't spoil it for me. So there is the viewers that still want to see it in real time, or I guess played in front of them real time, but obviously it's delayed because they're 9 hours ahead.
Sure. Yeah. The one story I always like to tell, Michelle, was the Olympics where Michael Phelps, I think, ultimately set the record for most golds, won like over a career, was that famous relay race where they're losing and it's Jason Lezak's the anchor leg and he comes back and wins. But I had seen it on the scroll earlier in the day, like Phelps breaks the record, wins whatever, 16th gold. And then I'm watching the race going, wait, they win. How are they're not going to win? It just didn't even, I even knew the answer and it didn't seem like it was possible. So that was still kind of a surprise ending, even though knowing the answer, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think NBC definitely had to learn how to navigate through that because, you have the results coming at real time, but then it's like, you don't want to have the eyeballs not on your coverage at prime time because that's what you're teasing all day is primetime coverage.
Sure. We're 4 years away from it, but are you
LA, right?
Are you going to LA? Are we going to have Dapper on the scene?
I'm going to make my pitch for that. Heck yeah. I'll drive.
There you go. Road trip.
Road trip. Let's do a stop. Let's do a feature along the way on our journey down to our Olympic journey down to Los Angeles.
That's right. I'm trying to get in as a broadcaster. I don't know what event for. I said I could train
that'd be cool.
Do play-by-play for breakdancing or something, but I'm going to work my way in if I can.
Get it.
Yes.
Jay Ross, I have all the faith in you.
I believe that. I don't have the Emmys to back it up, but I'm working on that. Michelle.
They're just trophies.
Just trophies. No, hard work is earned right there. Thank you for joining us. I know we'll do this again as the Olympics go on.
Absolutely.
We want to keep the coverage going. So thank you so much and enjoy the Olympics.
And have a great weekend, guys.
All right, you too. That's Michelle Dapper from KCRA Channel 3, sports anchor, reporter, Emmy winner, 4 times. 4-time Emmy winner. That's pretty awesome. All right, when we come back, who's hot? Who's not? Let's go streaking. All that and more straight ahead.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, tell me what's happening for Chrysler's Make This the summer sales event.
Everywhere you go, things are getting more expensive. But at Hoblet, we're working to save you as much as we can, which is why right now you can save up to 15% $15,500 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn or Laramie Hemi 4x4s. And we figured why not include no payments for 90 days.
You guys are going all out this month, aren't you?
From the time my grandfather opened the first Hoblet dealership back in 1949, one thing we've strived for is to treat you like family. That's why you'll find the big city selection and savings with over 400 Rams available, but the small town care and attention when you buy from Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,500 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 1500s after 8,500 factor rebates and 7,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 Chrysler Capital bonus cash. Must finance with Chrysler Capital qualify. And 500 first responder cash for current members of eligible First Responder Association. At least 5 of this net savings. Sample VIN 190060. See dealer for details.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The PGA Club Fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Hey, everybody, it's Kyle Draper here to remind you that the famous Bay Area pizza company Amici's East Coast Pizzeria has just opened its first location in Sacramento, offering takeout and delivery to the greater Sacramento area. Visit Amici's.com and click on the Sacramento banner for their menu and to order. And as a special deal all this week, enter promo code SAC20 at checkout to receive 20% off your entire order. So when you want to enjoy great pizza with family and friends this week, use promo code SAC20 at Amici's.com and Amici's delivers.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
All right. Again, thanks to Michelle Dapper from KCRA Channel 3 for joining us, talking some Olympic coverage, which is underway, and the opening ceremonies tonight. But we do have that question, who's hot, who's not. Chris, let's start with who is hot.
Don Orsillo.
Okay.
Long lost brother of Jason Ross.
You've called him that to me before.
In his 22 and a half years as an MLB broadcaster, he has called 5 no-hitters.
That's incredible.
Hideo Nomo, Clay Buchholz, John Lester, and the only no-hitters for the Padres franchise, Joe Musgrove, and now Dylan Cease.
That's really cool. Yeah, because the Padres I think they were the last one or one of the last ones without a no-hitter.
I remember it was them and the Mets for a long time.
Yeah, then is it like Johan Santana?
I think it's Johan Santana.
Yeah. He was so good for about a 4 to 5 year window.
Oh, man.
Maybe longer than that. So good.
So good.
So good. Okay, well, he's hot. Who's not?
The Chicago White Sox. They lost yesterday 2-1 to the Texas Rangers. It is the White Sox 11th loss in a row, 3rd sweep in a row, and they have not won a game since the unofficial second half of the season began with the All-Star game. They're also 10 games back of the second worst team in the league, which is the the Miami Marlins.
Woof. Woof. If you were a White Sox fan, would you wear your gear proudly or just kind of hide it for a little while?
No, I'd still wear it.
Yeah, if I'm a fan, I'm a fan. If people make fun, like, I'm with the team. I've always been with them. I wore King stuff when they were winning 17, 22, 28 games. Still wanted them to win all. They weren't.
I got my friends so mad at me one time during that stretch of the Kings, just like they were absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And they're like, why aren't you more mad with this loss? I'm like, mad with this loss? Like they lose every time they're
all
out
the
there.
time. I celebrate the few wins they have.
Like when I go to a game, I'm just saying like, I'm going to the game to have fun.
Yeah. Entertain me.
If they win, that's the bonus.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Right. Yeah, it is different. I mean, I'd rather be in this position where like maybe your feelings get hurt or you're down when they lose because you have expectations. But yeah, I'd rather have that.
But also going to the game is like fun no matter what. Even if they are losing, it's like you might see like a highlight play, but you also might see something stupid at one of the games that they're playing on the court during a timeout.
Yeah.
You can always find something.
I've had to adjust because more times than not, the games I go to, obviously NBA, but football, like I'm working. And when I'm not, for whatever reason, the games go so much faster when you're working.
Yeah.
So much faster. And I remember that there was a game that I went to, a Kings game, which was really where I had something or I was not going to be able to work. I was coming in late. And I got there earlier than I thought, but I arrived maybe middle of the second quarter and I never get to sit. We have season tickets as a family and it's like, okay, I'm going to sit in our seats. Never done this. And I'm just like, man, like, is it all? I don't know. You're just there's so many things you're thinking about during the broadcast or commercial. It just all.
And especially when there's a timeout, it's like, okay, let me look up the stats that I need to look up.
Yeah.
What's been the run like?
Right.
Who's in the game right now?
Or something.
And you're doing it quickly. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I only got like 2 minutes to do this. I got to do this real quick.
Or we're talking back to you if you're working the board or whoever's the board or the G-Man or Deuce or Henry. Like amongst us, we're talking about something. Oh, man, that was a terrible call. Whatever. We're just talking about the game. And then when you're at the game, it's just it's a huge adjustment for me. It just really was. I'm like, wow, we're still in the third quarter. Like, feels like I've been here a long time. It's just a different vibe that I get. That's a me thing that I have to get used to. All right, let's do it, Chris. Let's go streaking.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking.
All right, Chris, as you and I being here without Dave, we're 2/3 of the show, but I've got to ask for a ruling on streaking. Because I said I felt like my number was off, and I did in one of our breaks here go back and listen to the Monday show that I worked from Vegas, and you and Dave were here, and that was our last day of streaking was the Friday before. And that Friday before I got a hit, I heard it on the show. It was Carlos Correa, and I had improved my hitting streak to 3 games. I came back Wednesday, got a hit with Gunner. No, that was yesterday. Excuse me. I got hit with Rafael Devers.
Spoiler alert.
Exactly. So I jumped to 4. So I believe I'm at 4. Our list has me at 2. Are you allowing and accepting me at 4-game hitting streak?
I'll let you have 4.
Okay. So 2/3 of the show. I think we have to accept it. So right now, Dave's at 2. I'm at 4. Chris is at 4. As we do our streaking. Yesterday, Dave did submit after you had hyped up Lawrence Butler and who's hot and who's not. So Dave went with Butler from the A's. And he had 5 plate appearances, and he got 2 hits. So Dave's streak extends to 3. I'm at 4, trying to get to 5. I went with Gunner Henderson from the Baltimore Orioles. Did not realize that was an early game. You and I were in the office after the show, kind of hanging out. And I went, oh my gosh, it's 6-0 Orioles already. And you had Rutschman, I had Gunnar Henderson. I'm like, how many hits do we have? I go, wait, really? No hits of those guys yet? Well, Gunnar Henderson had 5 plate appearances. He did give me 1 hit late in the game. So I am now at 5. Chris was at 4. You took Adley Rutschman. He had the day off.
Good for him.
Yeah. You tried to play. He did not for some reason, but you didn't lose your streak. You remain at 4. So
those are the scary ones. It's like, oh man, I hope they don't pitch it.
I know, because then you're like, I got to get a hit in 1 plate appearance. So Dave, look at the show. Dave's at 3. Chris is at 4. I'm at 5. All right, new day, new picks. Or Chris, you can go back to Rutschman if you want, or you have a fresh.
Yeah,
slate.
I'm going to Rutschman.
You're gonna keep Rutschman. Who's Adley and the Rutschmans playing? The Orioles are hosting the Padres, who just threw the no-hitter yesterday. Okay. So Chris sticking with Rutschman. Has Dave submitted one?
Not yet.
Okay. He will likely. Like that's what he normally does. I'm going to take, where was my pick? I just saw him down here. Let's go with Bobby Witt Jr. Be my pick. All right. So there we go. We've got our picks for streaking. Again, Dave at 3. He'll hopefully submit a text a little bit later. I'm at 5. Chris is at 4. The trade deadline will be going on this weekend, early next week. A few days left. There was a deal yesterday in which we saw a movement with Randy Arozarena leaving the Rays and being added by the Seattle Mariners. Again, that division is a good one right now because you got the race of the World Series champion Texas Rangers, below 500, by the way, at 51 and 52, but they're 2.5 out. The Mariners now 1 out, and the Astros, after just that hideous start, do lead the American League West. You got a little more cushion for the Guardians, up 4.5, Orioles up 2 on the Yankees. The NL, your division separation, Phillies up 9.5 now, Brewers up 6, and the Dodgers up 7.5. So that really, at the moment, looks like a wild card race amongst everybody else in the National League. All right, we've got one final hour for the week ahead. In that final hour, we're jam-packed. We've got Friday Fun and Games. We've got celebrity birthdays. We've got Niners and 9 and so much more. All that coming your way in our final hour of the week right here on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Kyle Draper. Equip your staff with top-notch uniforms, professionally cleaned and delivered weekly to your workplace by Alsco Uniforms, proud sponsors of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. Our services include uniforms, towels, floor mats, mops, first aid supplies, and restroom essentials to uphold cleanliness and safety standards in your business. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Visit alsco.com to learn more. Again, visit alsco.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock, ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Some people just know safe drivers save more with Allstate. Just like they know a saxophone solo makes any song smoother. See? Smooth. And they know if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 40% with Allstate. Now that's nice.
Based on the national average premium savings for Allstate customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Jason Mraz and the Super Band. Live. The mystical, magical, rhythmical, radical ride. Friday, August 9th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Jason Mraz and the Super Band with special guest Molly Miller Trio. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Jason Mraz and the Super Band in concert. Pick up the new album, Mystical, Magical, Rhythmical, Radical Ride.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Final hour of the week for the show on this Friday. Jam-packed final hour. Styles and Watkins being here at the end of the show. A little crosstalk, but also Friday fun and games. To end the week, we did get a text. Chris, you got one from Carmichael Dave, who was in on the chat earlier, but hasn't been in lately. But he did text you to give us his player for streaking with his streak at 3. Who did he submit?
He said Harper.
We going with Bryce? Or do we want to give him another Harper?
Oh, is there another Harper?
I don't know. I was trying to think of if there is. Okay, Bryce Harper for Carmichael Dave. I have Bobby Whitt Jr. and you have Adley Rutschman. About an hour ago, we had an opportunity to talk with Matt Barrows from formerly of the Bee, currently of The Athletic, covers the 49ers. Some really good intel, I would say. If you missed that, go back to our podcast and check out our conversation with him about where the 49ers are currently with their contract situations of their offensive linemen and trying to make sure they've got everything going right with Trent Williams. And he's obviously the holdout right now in what they're calling a hold-in with Brandon Ayuk, who had demanded the trade, but is clearly in camp, very noticeable, not practicing, but very present. And he's been around John Lynch a lot, playing catch with Kyle Shanahan's son, been around the receivers. There's a presence there that doesn't seem like an unhappy receiver, just haven't landed on the contract terms. So that's kind of the latest, and you can get more of that interview and conversation that we had. But we said kind of the backdrop of all of that was trying to figure out long-term, which is going to be as soon as next year, paying Brock Purdy. And we had a text come in on our text line. Do the Niners think Purdy is worth a QB max contract? I believe they will. I've said this. I'm not unique to saying this. Others have said it, but I think it's so true in the NFL. Either you have your franchise quarterback or you're looking for him. And so let's play that game. Do you think the 49ers are closer to thinking they have their franchise quarterback, or are they still looking for him? I think right now, present day, and things can change, I believe they think they have their franchise quarterback until proven wrong. What has Brock Purdy done to suggest to them or to you that he's not a franchise quarterback? Now, what does that mean to you? There are better quarterbacks than Brock Purdy, but how do the Niners get them? And is it worth getting them? He's very good. He's very good for this team. He's good in this system. He has orchestrated the offense beautifully. He wins games. If people want to label him as a game manager, fine. I don't look at that as a negative. I think when you're saying that, you're implying it as a negative term. That's kind of the nature of the position, by the way. And I have not looked at Brock Purdy as a guy that is limiting the 49ers. I think Jimmy G was a winner. Also, I think could fall under the line of a game manager. But what I did question on Jimmy G, which he did sometimes, but for my liking, not enough, was if the team was down or trailing, I personally didn't have as much faith in the fact that, oh man, they're down 6. They've got the ball with a minute to go. There are a lot of quarterbacks I'd rather have leading the offense than Jimmy G. Now, there were times where he would help bring them back and win. They also, more times than not, if you watch the 49ers, they're ahead. I think they're a very good team when they're ahead, when they've implemented their brand, their style, and they just kind of choke you out. I don't know any other way to put it. They want to get ahead, make you catch them. If that leads 7, they want it to be 10. If it's 10, they want it to be 13-17, and you're just not going to catch them. Then they're going to get to the ground game, good defense, solid special teams, and just win. If they win by 6, they win by 14, whatever it is. They have been a very good team for the last couple of years, haven't won at the end. I didn't look at the Super Bowl and went, the moment was too big for Brock Purdy. There's a pass or two several times in the game, but I still feel like his lens is looked at more critically than some other quarterbacks. Does Patrick Mahomes make some mistakes and have some throws that are off? Absolutely. But he's got a leash that, like, everybody would take Patrick Mahomes. He's great. He's proven to win in the biggest moments. He's made incredible plays, incredible throws. He's been able to adapt. I mean, in the Super Bowl, some of his runs were the critical plays, I thought, in the Super Bowl that did damage to the Niners. So, yes, to answer your question, I think the Niners believe he is going to get is their quarterback of the present and future, and he'll get a massive contract. I think that's what everybody believes. Look, Jordan Love is sitting out, and he's may get to be close to the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he's that. He had a really good year, but the Packers have identified that they've got their franchise quarterback. And again, this does change and can change. I'll look at the Philadelphia Eagles when they drafted Carson. They moved up to draft Carson Wentz. They felt like they had their franchise quarterback. They surprised people. Was it the very next year or the year after where they drafted Jalen Hurts? It's like, wow, curious move. I mean, you got a backup, but why do you have like a quality backup? And then you've got this stud in Carson Wentz. Well, suddenly Wentz started to get hurt, not as effective. They put in Jalen Hurts. Guess who's their franchise quarterback now? Jalen Hurts. Carson Wentz has bounced around to 4 other teams, I think, since. So I think teams are either searching for their franchise quarterback or they have them, and then you're also as good as your backup plan. Sam Darnold was a nice backup plan. He wasn't the franchise quarterback, but he's a nice backup plan. 49ers, it's Brock Purdy. It's his show. And as we're in Niners at 9, we look at what this team is, what they were last year, what they could be this year, looking at a lot of people's predictions and thoughts on the 49ers. They have this being the number 1 offense in the NFL again. And when I was looking at last year's numbers for this team, I was really trying to do some speculating on, could they be better offensively? What could be better? I mean, if you start to look at specifically Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, I don't know that they can have better statistical years. Now, they might perform better, like in the nuance, in kind of the fine lines, in between the lines. But Brock Purdy's final numbers, he didn't play the final week because the division was in the bag and you don't want to protect him. So that's another hint, by the way, of how they feel about Brock Purdy. It's still a relatively young quarterback, probably could always utilize reps, but the Niners are saying, we've got to protect our asset. We don't have to win the final game of the year. I don't want to put our guy in a compromised spot with a potential of getting hurt. We hopefully have a long playoff run. We're going to sit him out. That's what they think of Brock Purdy. So Purdy in 16 games, completed 69%. That's a good number. I mean, maybe that could go up slightly. 4,280 yards. I guess if he plays a 17th game, that number could go up. But the average of 267 per game is really good. Touchdown to interception ratio is good. 31 TDs, 11 interceptions. I mean, quarterbacks are always going to try to shrink that second number, that interception number. But if Brock Purdy has another year like that, 49ers would take it. Christian McCaffrey, meanwhile, in 16 games, he also sat out the final game. 1,459 yards on the ground, 14 touchdowns, averaged 91 yards on the ground, was just lethal through the air with 67 catches, 564 yards, 7 more touchdowns. So is McCaffrey going to have 21 touchdowns again? That's a really big number. As someone that's in a keeper league that has Christian McCaffrey, that's keeping Christian McCaffrey, I hope he does. But maybe Elijah, some of the other running backs I should mention could get a little more burn, maybe. But I think Purdy and McCaffrey, tough to have numbers better than that. You go to the receiving corps where the ball is spread around a little bit. We mentioned McCaffrey already with those 67 catches. Ayuk had 75. 1,300 yards, 7 TDs. I bet his touchdown numbers could go up. Maybe the yards and catches. That's an area that could go up, but is that at the expense of Kittle, who had 65 for 1,020 and 6 TDs? Debo, 60 catches, 892 yards, 7 touchdowns. He also ran the ball for 225 and 5 touchdowns. Jennings, 19 catches. That number should go up. Where will Pearsall fit in? I mean, the offense was fantastic last year. So you're starting to look big picture. Can it get better? Or just does it need to be the same? I mean, when you start to look at people like NFL.com ranking their top 10 offenses going into the year and their predictions, they got the 49ers at number 1. Here's what they say. The signature strength, and I agree with this, is Kyle Shanahan's scheme. 49ers head man has established himself as one of the best offensive minds in football by running a balanced system that's not just the envy of tape munchers, but also many NFL coaches. I think the concept is good. And the personnel, I mean, look, McCaffrey and Ayuk and Debo and Kittle with Purdy, stud lineman Trent Williams. This is a great group. I mean, it really is. And it all fits and it works perfectly. He's the knock that they put, everybody's got a worrying weakness. Kyle Shanahan's scheme when trailing. One consistent knock on Shanahan, he can't lead a comeback. The basic thinking goes that his offensive system runs great when San Francisco's in control of the game, but when the 49ers fall behind and are forced out of their comfort zone, the attack stalls. Now, that's, I think, a fair criticism, but we also have to now put in the plus column of that, one of the greatest comebacks in Niners playoff history. Remember, they're down 17 points at halftime to the Lions in January and came back to win the championship game. So that was impressive. Under Shanahan, San Francisco is 0-38 when trailing by 8+ points in the fourth quarter. They admittedly, it's not a ton of times, and a lot of those years were when they're bad. But if that is your biggest concern as an offense, is how do you respond when you're behind late in games? I don't think it's a personnel thing. Again, I think the more times that Kyle Shanahan can get the game in his system and his plan and under his kind of dictation, they're great. And they should be that way again this year. All right, when we come back, a few more stories to clean up in this, our final show of the week. Also, Charles Barkley came out today with a statement. We'll read that and let you know what Barkley had to say about this whole media rights deal. We know he's already been very strong, opinionated on that and saying this will be his final year. His statement kind of backs that up a little bit more. We'll explain when we come back.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing or leasing. Some other offers must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 7/31/24.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Show continues here on Sacktown Sports. Again, Friday fun and games coming your way to end the show and end the hour. We'll have Styles and Watkins coming in. We got some people chiming in either via text or on our YouTube chat. And again, thank you for being there. While you're there, do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up button at the bottom. Easy to do. All you have to do is click it. Makes me feel good. Algorithms like it. We appreciate that. That's my reaction. Every time you hit the thumbs up button, you'll hear that. Was talking about the 49ers in the last segment there at Niners at 9. Who is this? Frank says 49ers go 10-7, book it. 49ers last chance to win the Super Bowl was last year. These all could be true. The one, though, I wonder about, where Frank then adds a couple lines later, 49ers QB is the weak spot. I don't believe that. Frank, you're more than entitled to your opinion. So do you think, in Frank, in your mind, is last year an outlier for Brock Purdy? Again, was in the MVP conversation, didn't win it. That's okay. 267 yards per game. These are just stats, 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That's the numbers. Numbers are really good. Could always be better. But just watching the game, I mean, I don't look at Brock Purdy as holding back the 49ers. And other people feel that way too. Maybe some people feel the same way you do, but I'm looking at, let me find another site here. This was also, this is from CBS Sports. They were ranking the quarterbacks going into this year, and they did it by tiers. The big three is in tier 1. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Last year it was Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen.
Did you happen to see what the Raiders did with Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
Why are you just like poking the bear?
I mean, I didn't like it. I've never liked that kind of stuff. I don't even think it's going to do anything, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Was it a Kermit the Frog? You're making fun of his voice, but then they actually had like a wig on it, and then
and the jersey. It's a Kermit the Frog, Mahomes jersey.
Yeah.
Mahomes hair-ish.
Yeah. Like, Raiders, look, I mean, it is your rival. They say it's not a rival unless you beat teams consistently. They don't beat the Chiefs consistently. Nobody beats the Chiefs consistently.
I think we should start going with enemies if it's not a true rival.
Yeah, that's right. You don't like Mahomes. You don't like the Chiefs. That's fine. But you are poking the bear.
Like, the Kings and Pelicans aren't a rivalry.
Right. Last year it felt like it, but the Kings couldn't beat them. And
Pelicans are the Kings' enemies.
Yeah, they ruined the season. I was with a bunch of family, like I said, in New Orleans, and they're like, oh, yeah, the Pelicans, they beat you. Oh, yeah, I know. I don't want to talk about it 6 times. I mean, like,
the Pelicans beat them down there.
Give me one in front of that. Tier 2 in their quarterback list, they now have Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud, and Jordan Love. Here's one that fascinates me. C.J. Stroud had a great year. I think C.J. Stroud could be great, but I would not be shocked if that changed. Like, the quarterback tiers change every year. They're going C.J. Stroud in tier 2 because of last year. It's the only year we have to go by, but I could see that changing. And I guess in the same line that I'm saying that, maybe that's what Frank is saying about Brock Purdy. But Brock Purdy, so let me read you last year's tier 2 was Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts, and Justin Herbert. So Jalen Hurts, who I think a lot of people would have had in close to tier 1 or tier 2 last year, isn't in tier 1 or tier 2 this year. Tier 3 on this list, sneaky upside high-level starters, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, and Dak Prescott. Yeah, I believe that's about where Brock Purdy lives. Close to that, in that top 10 of QBs. Depending on the year that he has, he can move up into the top 10. If he has a down year, of course he would move down. But that's the kind of company I think he's currently in. That's what his resume has shown us. You may want to see more, and I think that's fair if I'm doing the same thing for C.J. Stroud, but C.J. Stroud only year in the NFL was good. But if this year is subpar, he's going to drop. And I guess the same thing would happen with Brock Purdy. So we might need to see a little more, but what we've seen has been very good for him. All right, so let's reset some of our things we've been talking about today. As you know, it's the start of the Olympics today. Some of it's been going on. We've been watching that in here. The 49ers were still in that holdout and hold-in situation, holdout of Trent Williams. We talked to Matt Barrows earlier, and looks like that stuff is going to progress at some point. I don't think anybody's too worried yet on either Ayuk or Trent Williams. But anytime a guy's not practicing or participating, there is certainly a level of concern. A story we've been talking about this week is the NBA TV media rights. And we had great conversations yesterday about that. Michael McCarthy from Front Office Sports joined us and talking about potential lawsuits from TNT, and just watch a little bit more how this all develops. But Charles Barkley introduced or produced this statement earlier today. Chris, was this from social media, I guess, somewhere that you grabbed?
Yes.
Okay. Here it is, quote, "Clearly the NBA has wanted to break up with us from the beginning. I'm not sure TNT ever had a chance. TNT matched the money, but the league knows Amazon and these tech companies are the only ones willing to pay for the rights when they double in the future. The NBA didn't want to piss them off. Quote, it's a sad day when owners and commissioners choose money over the fans. It just sucks." The last part of the quote, "I just want to thank everyone who has been at Turner for the last 24 years. They are the best people and the most talented, and they deserve better. I also want to thank the NBA and its fans, the best fans in sports. We're going to give you everything we have next season." Charles Barkley. Chris, do you personally believe that this is Barkley's last year? I know we said that, but as Michael McCarthy told us yesterday, the free agent and the dollars that people are going to offer him will be tough to turn down.
Yeah, I think someone might just throw a dump truck. I don't know, but by what he's saying right there, he's like, money's not really.
Yeah, he's been bothered by this for a while,
Yeah.
and he said it for a while. I'm not, and I will not fault him. Like, look, I know a lot of people do this. You said this at one point. Well, things change.
I could honestly see him like saying no to everything and then just have some sort of YouTube set up in his house or something.
Yeah. Or do what's the steam room, not steam room, whether him and Ernie do a podcast. Yeah, I mean, Barkley, he's coveted. He does a lot of shows. A lot of stuff he does is popular. People watch it. People are, have always been attached to him. I'm really, really torn on that. I mean, I think we all have to adapt. We have to adjust. It is what's the way of the world. Things do change. I'm a huge fan of the TNT postgame show and pregame show, just whenever they're on. The only way I know how to explain why it works so well is just they have hit the sweet spot of being likable to watch, so you want to see what they have to say, trusted, entertaining, but I also think they're not too, I mean, they're superstars, but they're not too big on themselves. They poke fun at one another. They laugh. They genuinely care about one another. They treat each other well, but poke fun. It feels like a family, and I'm sure they feel like a family, but we feel a part of it. And so when you've done that successfully as a show, man, and then, you're going to go through, if they do something silly, look, every bit they do isn't hit, but you're like, I'm going to watch the next one because it will. Or if it doesn't, I'm going to watch the next one and the next one, because more times than not, they've done that, or they've reached that point of like, I got to watch what they're going to do. The game shows, the serious stuff. Look, when, the death of Kobe Bryant was just so tragic to so many people, and them included Shaq. I mean, living through that in real time and how hurt he was, and we're watching that. The seriousness of stuff that's going on in our world that they'll approach, to the silly, to the innate. I mean, just they'll do anything, and they're not afraid to try anything. I know years and years ago at the broadcast meetings, Ernie Johnson spoke, and it was one of the best. He's just engaging, and what he talked about and what he said was great, but also the storytelling that he would talk about. And what really impressed me is when he talked about why he felt their show worked so well was they listen and they get contributions from everyone. And he said some of their best bits might be something that came up from a camera guy, from the makeup artist, from someone on social media. And so it's not, hey, I know this, I know television, I know how to do it. Just follow my lead if I'm Ernie or Shaq or Chuck or Kenny or whatever. They've got quality producers, they've got good people, talented people, but it's a team. And so if in fact this is the final year of that, which it's looking like, I certainly will enjoy that. If it becomes some version of those guys moving on, not all of them, it's still basketball. I'll follow it. It'll be different, but also appreciate the fact that we got to see it and watch it and enjoy it for so long. And so this last year will be interesting of that. And I think Charles Barkley pointing that out is poignant and certainly something that we all have been benefiting on, and people have tried to copy and replicate and haven't been able to do so. That's truly the testament to how good that show has been. And it's award winning. Like, again, it's likable. I feel like it's been must-see TV, and just the way they've done that has been a treat for all of us. So we'll see. We'll see where these things go, and if truly there is that lawsuit coming up for them. All right, still to come. We still got about 30 minutes left of this show. We will get to what to watch tonight. We mentioned opening ceremonies coming your way. We will get into that. We have celebrity birthdays coming your way, and then we finish things out with Friday Fun and Games. That's all coming up right here on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey there, Jason Ross here to tell you about something. Maybe just think about this weekend. It's something you don't really want to think about. You don't want to feel like, hey, if something goes wrong, what do I have to do? But you also want to be prepared and feel confident that if you're in a position of need where you need representation, you've got someone. I got a guy. Well, I got a guy for you. And that's Jonathan Gonzalez. The law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. It's downtown. And you can go to sacklegaldefense.com to find out more. Now, what might you need him for? Well, look, there are situations where I'm sure you've seen television commercials. There's lawyer commercials on TV all the time. All the time. You can't go anywhere without seeing someone with a 800 number that call this number, and there's a figurehead there that's representing this company, and you're like, oh, I need to call them. They look like I can trust them. Well, they're not here. They're not local. You're not going to get to that person. So how about someone that is here? That is a Sacramentan, that is local, that is here downtown, been to his offices on J Street, and is in the community, and that is Jonathan Gonzalez. So why you need him? Well, I brought that up. Here you go. Maybe there's something that's following you from your past that you'd like to escape from, that's keeping you from certain things. So he does expungements. He certainly could represent you in an auto accident if you feel you need representation there. Wrongful termination case. Something went wrong. You feel like you're being slighted. He's more than willing to fight that case. So call him, reach out, get your representation. Again, it's sacklegaldefense.com, or you can call him at 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is finally Friday. We're looking at mostly sunny skies and temperatures not as hot for the afternoon. After a pleasant morning, we'll see daytime highs in the lower to mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for special offers right now. I'm Coach Doug Christie urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and save big on your next new or certified pre-owned vehicle right now. Visit FolsomLakeKia.com.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley's coming to town.
What was I thinking? I'm getting drunk on the
Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends. Farmerly, Tyler Rich, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by The Scoundrel Red Wine, Naturewood Home Furnishings, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento summertime heat is back. And of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Well, okay then. Yeah. Welcome back into the show. If you're on YouTube, you see Chris Watkins. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Jason. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I've got the King shirt
feeling
today.
like a good Friday. Yes, I know. Yeah,
the polo, but I was expecting like he's gonna have like this DeMar DeRozan onesie.
Right.
On today.
It's gonna be a shirt with. It's just gonna be. It's gonna be a vest with Monty with a vest on.
Again, that put in the team store. That's selling.
Shocks me that they don't have even if it's not like an official. Hey, like Monty McNair wears it. Like they should have a vest.
It should be a vest with Monty wearing a vest, and then there should be a pocket with a tiny Monty in the pocket wearing a vest.
How come? You know what? Now you say that, guys. Like they don't do a lot of like baseball's big on that. It's like. Aaron Judge Garden Gnome Day and or whatever. It's like, do we? Or I guess I don't go as a fan.
But
But why aren't there more basketball gimmicks? People would eat that, especially here in Sacramento. People want all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
like car flag night. Okay,
all
fine.
of it. Yeah, no, all
first
of it.
10,000 fans get a car flag. Who's turning that down?
Nobody. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I mean, there's the possibilities are endless, and it doesn't really
sun hat. I mean, whatever.
I think Nate's wearing one too, like the Feel the Roar shirt. Like everybody at this point, you go to any Goodwill in Sacramento, you'll find some version of a Kings free shirt that they give you, and I have like 8 of those. Towels, whether it be I have like Bollywood night towels, and
I guess
all
they
these
do
things.
that. I guess
They do plenty of those, but you're saying more of the knick-knacky kind of stuff, like you said, like the garden gnomes. Get us some rubber ducks or something like that.
King's duck. Like I don't know why this makes sense, but I got a King's rubber duck. Who
exactly.
cares?
No, it's easy.
We're trying to market for you. Kings.
Trying just free ideas here.
Yes.
But,
I know Alan will be joining us in the next segment for some Friday fun and games. We'll ask you now what's coming up on the show today.
A good bit. We're still putting it together, but the show will be on during the opening ceremonies. That's pretty rare occurrence. Yeah, it's really
cater
strange.
to us.
Please.
Olympics.
I mean, come on. We win all the events. You might as well make it so that we can watch it all.
It's about America.
Come on. I mean, what's important
but most
here?
of it's just people walking in. So what do you really miss?
The opening
look at that
ceremonies.
stride.
It's great. So we're going to be talking about
Algeria wearing? That's pretty sweet.
Favorite events and all those kind of things. Going to be a fun Friday for sure. Might talk a little bit about Team USA, their quest for gold as well on the men's basketball side. Definitely still putting the show together a bit, but coming together.
So what to watch today? You got Olympic ceremonies, and you guys will be talking about that. We got Olympic events that have already gone. We were watching rugby earlier.
Soccer has been going on.
Trying to understand the scoring. Handball was on yesterday.
Handball is a really fun one to watch.
Yeah.
I'm a netball guy.
Ooh.
Oh, netball. Okay. Well, let's ask you the same question that we had in 3 for Madness. So you're given 4 years to train.
Okay.
For one of these summer Olympic sports.
Okay.
Again, no one's expecting medaling.
Sure.
But what at your current state do you think you would have the best chance to compete in? that you would feel good, like, hey, I'm representing Team USA in this event. I was given 4 years. It's all I've done. I've trained for this. And I think Chris and I had a good breakdown, but I'll let you give an answer first.
It's funny you say breakdown because my
mind,
are
you going there?
My mind immediately goes to break dancing, but that's just because it feels like, not that it's not difficult, but like there's a lot of like other barriers.
See, we eliminated it, like speed, strength, endurance. Like, forget it. Like,
that's not happening. I'm not playing for the basketball team. I'm not playing water polo. I'm not beating Katie Ledecky or whatever.
Yeah,
if
you trained, you would be a better swimmer, but you're not. The gap would still be embarrassing.
Yeah, and like, I've definitely never breakdanced before, but well, I shouldn't say never, but it never and I'm also like, I was thinking like maybe skeet shooting or something like that.
We went for target. We went archery and shooting.
But I feel like it's
hard.
Sneaky hard. Not that breakdancing isn't hard, but I feel like the pace in which those aren't they called pigeons or something like that? Yeah, whatever. They're like I just don't think I would have the hand-eye or the necessary
archery.
Skill. Archery seems tough. I really feel like if I were to try, I mean, again, you're giving me 4 years, but it feels like I would have a lot of just like pull back and it just falls right in front of my face. Yeah.
You missed the target. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I'll get there.
Is darts an Olympic sport?
It's not.
I know it's really big in the UK. I don't know
it's
if,
not
if
officially,
it's caught on anywhere else. I mean, I'm sure there's like, handball might be up there. It seems fun, but even then there's
I'll give you some of this list.
Yeah, let's see here. Archery. Yeah, like even like the synchronized swimming stuff, no way.
I mean, we'd improve at all of it, but
rowing, that's not happening.
I mean, imagine boxing. I'm just going to get murdered.
I'm just going to get absolutely murdered.
I was trying to think if anything cycling. I'm like, no, that's endurance, like in strength.
Yeah, lacrosse isn't happening. Weightlifting definitely is not happening.
I wondered about marathon swimming again. Not even. I mean,
I guess
train in a distance. I can swim.
You know what?
Again, I'm not winning, and not even pretending that I'm even coming close. But like,
maybe surfing.
Oh, I said sailing.
Or sailing. You could be on the team.
Yes.
Oh, how about? Oh, I was gonna say bobsledding, but that's winter. Yeah.
Yeah, because the winter we said.
What would you be in bobsledding?
I don't know. Isn't
like
there somebody who
person
pushes, or I can be the weight
first or
that
last.
makes it go faster? Put it in the bobsled.
Can't slow us down. Though.
Exactly.
Like every bobsledder now is like a freaking linebacker.
Yeah, they were a linebacker, and they run like a 4.40. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. Didn't like Marion Jones push the bobsled?
Had
like an Olympic sprinter push the bobsled one year.
Willie Gault, who was like a track star and a wide receiver.
Does that say badminton? Maybe badminton.
I mean, they're so world class.
That's the thing. I was going to say table tennis too, but it's like that's insane.
Just they're playing a different.
Can I just say golf so I can play the course? I don't know what courses they have.
Play.
Yeah, I can play. I will not do well, and they have to have some sort of nice scoring for Olympic. Like it's got to be like the Edgewood scoring or something. Where it's
modified,
a little more friendly, right?
So I went with shooting.
Olympic. Yeah, he did shooting. I did archery, and then we definitely said curling in the Winter Olympics.
What is squash? The sport of squash.
That's the longer. It's almost like a badminton racket in the racquetball court.
Okay. I have seen. Yes. I've seen people play that at like some gyms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's maybe skateboard. No. Just no.
Just watch and admire everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, it's that time, guys, for celebrity birthdays. Brought to you by our friends at Crumble Cookies. Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together like Crumble Cookies. Hey. We got the Chris battle in celebrity birthdays here. Let's hit you with some movies. You guys excel at this first. On this date, July 26th, Austin Powers Goldmember came out.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
What year was that?
Man. You want to talk about having a chokehold on the culture for a minute? Austin Powers.
It did. Yeah.
I'm going to say that was 20 years ago today.
So 2004.
That's a good call. That's a really good call.
I like that call. It's a very good call.
That's a very good call. I'll say 2003.
This goes to Chris Watkins. 2002.
Oh, I almost said 02.
2002.
Dang.
How about
some legs.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh.
More recent.
More recent.
July 26th in what year?
Great movie, by the way.
Great?
Great.
Okay.
It was really good. I enjoyed it.
I'm going to say 2017.
I definitely saw it in the theaters, which tells me it was pre-2020. I'm going to say 2019. I'm going to say it was probably
2018.
the last
I'm going to say
movie
2018.
I saw in the theaters.
2018-2019. We have a correct answer, and it goes to Chris Watkins. 2019. All right. How about it's today is coming out the Deadpool and the Wolverine or Wolverine. How about Wolverine? The Wolverine. When did it come out?
Oh my gosh. Chris, maybe I don't know if this is cheating. Can you help me if this is? I know Logan came out. Is that before or after?
Logan
Wolverine?
is after Wolverine.
Thank you.
And I haven't seen either.
I have not either.
I haven't either.
Oh,
I'm going to say Wolverine is 2003.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say it's 2010.
Okay, I wonder if it's one with Hugh Jackman. It says the Wolverine. So
Yes.
that changed.
Oh, maybe.
2013.
Okay,
That can't be the first one.
Then it's probably not the first one. I don't know if the Wolverine.
No,
Way to go, Jason.
Because there was X1. That's obviously the first X-Men. I don't think a Wolverine solo movie came out until after all of this.
Got it. Happy birthday, guys! Today, let's do some birthdays to Sandra Bullock.
Happy birthday, Sandra. Chris, did you like Bird Box?
That's fine.
Yeah. That was like another one of those. I think that was like kind of the first. Was that during COVID?
No.
No?
That was
before.
like, yeah, it was like
okay.
Quiet Place. That one came out. There was another one with Stanley Tucci that's very similar to like Not Making a Noise Monster.
Yeah. Bird Box was okay. I was not a fan of how popular it became.
Did it become popular?
It did. It definitely
I
was
it
like,
was big for like when it was on Netflix for that couple weeks.
It definitely didn't have people are not still having Bird Box conversations for sure.
So Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock, Blindside. You like the Blindside? Let's go.
C2 Cruise Control.
I don't know, 57.
54.
Chris Watkins is closer, 60.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Happy birthday, Mick Jagger.
Yes.
I want to see Mick Jagger. He is 82.
I'm glad you went high because I wanted to go really high. I'll say 85.
Chris Verlata's closer, 81 today. Happy birthday to Jason Statham.
Oh, that's your boy.
Jason Statham is 58. He tried to become an Olympic diver.
Yeah.
He's a Goodwill game. He went to the Goodwill Games.
I'll say you said 58.
Yes.
I'll say 62.
Chris Verlata's closer, 57.
Dang.
Just missed. Happy birthday to comedian Gary Owen.
Oh, nice.
I don't know who that is.
You don't?
He's
Okay.
got one bit.
Yeah.
What's the bit?
He's married to a black woman.
Oh. So Bill Burr?
Yeah, but he plays it up more.
Oh.
It's like really his bit.
So let's have Chris Verlad guess first.
Yeah.
36.
Okay.
Gary Owens probably 46.
You are closer. He's 50.
Oh, of course.
Happy birthday to former number one pick, no ordinary Joe Smith. The Golden State Warriors. No? Former Maryland star.
Yeah, totally.
Number one pick overall.
That's my guy.
What year was he the number one pick?
Let's tell you.
85.
Oh, this will be good.
Let's see here. Mean Joe Smith is 55.
56.
Damn, Chris Watkins was closer, 49.
Yeah.
And we'll end with, I don't know if this is the best one to end with, Kevin Spacey.
Oh,
jeez, Jason.
Well, I mean, look, it's his birthday.
Goodness gracious. We don't celebrate that.
64.
Would you rather have it be Delonte West?
No, I actually wouldn't. I'll say 63.
Chris Verlad was closer, 65 for Kevin Spacey. All right, when we come back, Friday, fun and games. Nate wants in. He's in. We'll see how he does with the rest of you guys. That's coming your way next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Carmichael Dave here asking you a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were surprised at the cost of the repair? Or did something seem a little off about their quote? Now, American Energy, they take pride in giving honest and straightforward solutions to get your system up and running. Have one of their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. Now, how can you trust them? Well, first off, I'm telling you to, and I'd never lie to you. But secondly, don't believe me. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. Better Business Bureau, go look up American Energy Heating and Air. A+ rating. What does that mean? That means their kids go to school with your kids. They work alongside you. They're local. They're not some big overgrown outfit, and they rely on their reputation. They are Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
We have finally made it to Friday
Let's end your week the right way with Friday Fun and Games.
on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, here we are. Friday Fun and Games, final segment of the week. We do have Styles and Watkins coming your way in just a moment, which will feature Alan Styles and Chris Watkins and Nate Littlefield, too. Nate is wanting to come back desperately for Friday Fun and Games. So, Nate, was it not a good performance last week?
No, I let the pressure get to me.
Do you feel like now you're going to be better?
No way. No, sitting next to you stresses me out.
I know you didn't have to come in this room. You could have been in the other room if that made it easier.
Yeah, probably would have been easier.
It sounds like you guys didn't want me in here.
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
But no, you could be in here.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Olympics.
Yes.
What, bobsled? What if they rode down on a guy named Bob? Do you think about that?
Okay, weirdo. Party of one.
Yes. It's a fun party. Thanks for having me on.
Man, Alan didn't even want to come in.
I know. Alan just left. He came in and he's like, "Oh, Nate's in here. I think I'm gonna exit." Chris, you have an option if you'd like to leave.
It's an option?
No.
Oh,
Yes.
I was definitely told that I had to sit here.
There's Alan. He's ready to go. So you guys have played this game before. I don't know if Nate has, but you've probably heard it. I no other way to explain this game, but we've played it. But I call it the Zachariah game.
That's right.
The Zachariah game, because it's bidding. And he would always overbid and think he could get there and then couldn't and would panic. And so I think I've laid out some. I want to build our bids up because I think I've got some easy ones today for you guys. So just as a reminder for our listeners and for you guys, you're going to get 15 seconds. I'm going to have a category. We'll start with Alan. He'll put out a bid, and if it's like I can name 7 of those in 15 seconds, if you guys think you can go more, you overbid him until we land, and then the clock will start. And Nate, that's when the pressure starts, and you're going to thrive today.
There's no way this is Nate's kind of game.
I think he's just going to surprise us all.
You weren't here for last week. So.
I know. I heard it was.
Chris had the
90
dump button ready.
He had 90 seconds last time. Now he only has 15 seconds.
Yes. So let's see how we do. And we're going to start with our first category. Alan, you could bid for us first. People that have played quarterback for the 49ers.
Ooh.
How many could you name over 15 seconds?
You might.
You will.
Oh,
you're going to have a chance.
I'm going to go low here.
Okay.
You're
starting the bid.
Starting the bid.
Yes, 4.
4 in 15 seconds. Seems easy to beat. Can you beat that?
I'll do 5.
Okay. Chris Verlad?
I want to see what Nate wants to do.
Okay. Can you do more than 5 in 15 seconds?
Wait, can you do that, Chris?
Yeah, you can pass.
Yeah.
How many?
I'll say 7.
7.
And
okay.
I might botch it.
All right, 7.
I'm not touching that.
Okay. How about you? You want to up that bid? I think you guys can up that bid.
I really want Nate to do as many as possible.
Yeah.
But I don't
go
want to get
8.
stuck with it.
Do we have an 8 anywhere?
Yeah, screw it. I'll say 8.
Okay.
Oh, he passed.
It passed already. Yeah. Can you go 9?
In 15 seconds?
Yeah, I think you can.
All right, I'll just say yes.
Dang right.
Is 9 your number, or are you going
9
higher?
is where I'm going to stop.
Anybody
So
going
Chris,
above 9?
I'll let you
Good
know.
work, Chris.
I'll try.
I appreciate
I'll
that
try.
effort.
Yeah, you
all
guys-
right, we got
you're
15
pressure.
seconds.
Games.
49ers quarterback, start the clock, go.
CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins, Tanner Mordecai, who's their backup right now, Brock Purdy, Colin Kaepernick, Alex Smith, Wyatt Tittle, John Brody, Joe Montana, Steve Young.
Oh, wow.
Come on. There we go.
Wow.
There we go.
I was getting a little worried since he took so much time explaining.
Yes. Who's their backup now?
I love starting with CJ Beathard.
You can even take out that guy, Tanner Mordecai, is not going to make the team. So you can take
You put him in.
Oh, so he needs another one.
No, he went
I got
past.
10.
I'm glad you
Yeah.
got him ahead of Montana and Young. That was important.
I thought of the hard ones first.
Yeah.
That's what you should do.
There
Yeah.
you go. So there you go. See, you're back.
You're back.
Yeah.
I never got here. So this is my first time. First time
Welcome.
All right. Next category, Chris Watkins. You
no.
start us out with bid for Summer Olympic sports. You just saw.
I just saw them. All started at 5.
5 and 15 seconds. Chris 6. Nate.
I pass.
Oh, you're out already.
I'm
You
out.
you peaked with the 49ers.
I
QB.
just
Alan,
Quit
can
while
you do
you're ahead.
7
There
or
you go.
more.
Yeah, well, you do 7.
7. Chris Watkins.
Yeah, I can do 8.
8. Okay.
What is the question again?
Summer Olympic sports.
Sports.
Rough start.
In just summer. Okay,
Just summer.
Yeah, definitely out.
Yeah, you're out already. Okay. 8. You're at 8.
I'm at 8.
So Chris, 9 is the bid or more.
I'll pass.
Alan.
I'm out.
Out.
Okay.
8 and 15 seconds. Chris Watkins, go.
Basketball, badminton, rhythmic gymnastics, swimming, can I just say track,
Sure.
shot put,
No.
javelin.
No, those are track.
Those are field.
Then
It's
say
track
field.
and field. Oh wait, no, this is
Was that
that
unfair?
is unfair.
I
No,
say to
That's
win.
an
why-
Olympic
no.
event. It
That's
is
why-
not a category. No,
That's why I asked the question, because I was going to cheat and I was going to say 50-meter freestyle.
Right.
I
100-meter
almost did that,
freestyle,
but I
50
didn't
meter.
do that.
Right.
I could have done
Jason,
that, and I
you-
said shot
Yeah,
put. I
Jason-
said javelin. I was going
Right.
to say
No.
high jump. I was going to
No.
say triple jump.
This one's up to Jason.
No.
You are doing really well. I'm gonna get you.
Come
Why did you
on.
go? Why
Come
did you
on.
start to separate your track sports?
I would have.
Because that's not track. It's track and field.
How about if you
Then
name
say field.
3 and 5 seconds? You give
But
it to him.
Yeah.
field
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
not. But
Yeah.
track is
Yeah.
okay.
3 and 5 seconds.
No. I say he's done.
You know what? Yeah, it's fine. We can move on. It's
It was
really,
good.
it's
You
really
were
not
doing
that
really
big of a
well.
deal.
Baseball's
It's-
in there. Softball's in
I
there.
would, I might have gotten there.
Yeah.
I don't believe baseball or softball. Or softball might be back.
Softball's in this year.
Softball's in there.
And women's baseball, by
Yeah.
the way.
I was also going to
Yeah.
wonder if we could do
Basketball.
women's and men's basketball.
That's right.
All right. Well, this along those lines, we're going to lead with Christopher Laud here in the wheelhouse for him. Horror movies without sequels.
Okay.
Oh, man.
This is like made for Chris.
Yeah, just go, Chris.
Yeah.
But that's
Set
like
your
every
number.
horror movie has
Well,
a sequel.
you know a lot of them. So horror movies without
Okay,
sequels,
I will
15
add,
seconds.
What if they haven't made a horror? What if they're in the process of making a sequel to that movie?
It hasn't came out.
I
yet.
guess I could say whatever, because there's no way you're gonna know.
Prequels don't count either. Prequels don't. Like if you do the
Well,
thing.
what I'm saying is Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3.
Yeah,
like
that's
it's
right.
Halloween.
Gotcha.
Well, wait.
Nightmare
So can
on
we?
Elm Street.
Can I add
we do
to
the
the
next
thing?
topic?
Can we just do one of a franchise?
Yes.
Okay.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. Like
Got
not
you.
without.
So I
you
can't add
go-
these sequels
Oh,
to
so
it.
they can have a
Oh, I'm
sequel.
sorry. Yes.
Gotcha.
But I don't
That's
want Saw, Saw 2,
Oh,
Saw 3. Go
gotcha.
Saw.
Oh,
Halloween.
It's kind of like the track and field
Yes. So there we go. Horror movies without sequels, without using their sequel numbers.
7.
Whoa. 8.
I'll just say 8.
Whoa.
thing. I'm out.
Alan's
I'm
out.
out.
Chris?
9.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Okay, 9 and 15
Per
seconds.
lot.
Let's
Per
go.
lot.
Hold on. I gotta hit the thing.
Oh, how convenient. How convenient. The timekeeper
Saw.
gets the choose.
Scream. It Follows. That doesn't have anything to do
Go,
with
go, go.
Keep going. Keep going.
Halloween.
What are we doing?
Crazy Clown. When Evil
What are
Lurks.
we talking about?
Long Legs. That's 9.
He was at 9.
Guys, what are we doing
I
here?
don't know.
What are we doing?
Hey, dummy. It and It Follows aren't
Follows
in
is a
this.
totally different movie.
It's a totally different movie.
Totally different.
The Strangers.
You could have said that if you chose to do that category.
I like just saying random words.
I thought I took an easy one. Easy road here.
Wow.
This has been controversial.
Yeah, I am uncomfortable.
No, I don't believe that he should be the judge on movies when he's already said that he doesn't watch movies.
Wow.
He was never said I was the judge of movies. Just said you said it.
We are taking the fun out of Friday Fun and
I am
Games.
just here so I won't get fined.
Okay. Let's go. Next topic. Nate, you lead this one.
Come on, Nate.
In 15 seconds, we're going to do people with the name that begins with the letter S, boys or girls. How many can you name?
3.
Alan.
6.
Chris?
No.
More, not names with the first name and letter S?
Not doing
Okay.
What was the question?
People with a name that begins with the letter S.
And how many numbers?
6 is our number right now in 15.
7.
So as a hint, Scott
Yes.
is one. There you go. 7.
Whoa. 8.
8. Alan's a gamer.
You got this, Alan. You haven't even done one yet. Just take it.
9.
9. Chris?
I'm out.
All right.
You're out? Oh, 9 is the number. First name, letter S. Go.
Yeah. Scott, Sarah, Sean, Sherry, Sylvester,
Nice.
Sam, Sanjay. He's from American Idol.
Man, if you didn't go with the explanation.
Yeah, Sanjay's
What
definitely
I think we could have allowed Sean, and Sean.
Sandra.
Steve.
Did I say Steve?
Steve,
Nope.
no, you didn't. Yeah.
Ow! Sorry, downstairs.
Simon.
Cal,
Seth.
Rogan.
Yeah.
Seth
There you go.
Rogen.
All right. Next one.
You made. I was peer pressured.
You were. So everybody's done one, right?
Everybody's
Yeah,
Last
that's right.
one.
Now
Except for
we
you,
get
Jason.
spicy.
Oh, this is the last one?
This is the championship round.
Okay. Here's what we'll do.
Controversy.
Here's what we'll do in the last one. We're going to get a teamwork, but we got to get to a number. And everybody's going to go rapid fire in 15 seconds. See if we can get to the
I
number.
think this team is fractured.
The team is totally broken. I'm trying to see if we can get the fun back in the fun and games. Players that played for the Kings since 2020.
Okay.
So what's our team bid? You guys have 15 seconds, and it's going to go
Come on,
Alan to Chris to Nate. Alan,
But can we pass?
if you get stuck, pass because we're trying to get to our number.
We have our safety.
If
with
you
Chris
feel bad, we
Watkins.
should have just had Chris do this one.
I think you
I
guys
might
can
tank it.
I think you guys can get 10. Is that
Right,
fair?
quickly.
10.
Pass
Yeah.
immediately if
Yeah.
you hit the beat.
Because remember your order.
This is easy, guys.
Why am I blanking?
We have the
There's
whole
Kings
roster
players
at
and
our-
entire current
All right,
roster.
yeah.
Larry.
All right. Okay.
Go.
Alan,
Who's going?
When the clock go.
Jamel McGee.
Shumazi Metu,
De'Aaron Fox,
Sasha Vazenkov,
Kevin Herter.
Rashawn Holmes,
Tyrese Halliburton,
Malik Monk,
Harrison Barnes.
Buddy Hield.
You did it!
Alex Lynn,
Cool.
Mason Jones.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Well done,
Yes.
guys. Well
There we
done.
go.
Hey, that's how you
Really
get
good
back
info.
on the right side of
We
things,
finished
Jason.
as a team.
Yeah.
I think that was great.
Teamwork.
It was a good job, Jason.
Teamwork.
That's what a leader does.
Yeah.
That's
breaks
right.
us up
Jason,
and
you
gets us
are a
back
good
together.
leader. You're a good teammate, Jason.
Oh, thank you. Nate, I'm proud of you.
Thanks for having
Nate,
me.
you did great.
You did.
Hey.
I don't know if you quite made up for last week.
But
I
it's
didn't
right,
know
baby
last
steps.
week was like that big of a disaster.
Oh,
I
they're
thought it was-
talking about
it
it.
was
They're
not
talking
great.
about it.
It
still.
was, yeah. I look.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
I mean,
I'm
some
not gonna put you in that.
come
Should
back
I
in.
just go home?
No.
You got a show to run.
No. Definitely
Yeah.
shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but it
And
sounds
it's a
like
good
it was
show.
bad.
You'll be great.
Not the show, but
Yeah,
what
you're
I-
part of it. Yeah.
Show's great.
Yes,
It's a good show. It's what I've heard.
Feel the roar.
it is. Fastest growing show in America. Styles
right.
and Watkins. They are coming your way next. Have a great weekend, everybody. Styles and Watkins, straight ahead. See ya.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a